Well, Chatty, today's the day. We have videos, things that you have submitted for my personal satisfaction. Now, some of these are a little bit, hard to understand. I don't know, have I ever talked about Russian experiments or foxes before? Have I ever done this? Where the 3-hour VOD? Wait, what? Why would we watch a 3-hour VOD together? I don't think so, if I recall. Yeah, who fucking submitted this? Because I didn't check the username before they did. Roomies. Where do we submit the videos? On Reddit. Submit them on Reddit! And if you don't make a Reddit account, make a Reddit account! So that I can listen. Please? Onegai desu? I'm begging you. I don't have much time left. Okay. Let us begin.
In 1959, a Soviet scientist did something that would change our understanding of evolution forever. Dmitry Belyaev started with 130 silver foxes from a fur farm. His official goal? To breed better fur foxes. His real goal? To recreate the entire process of domestication from wild animal to pet. Something that took wolves 15,000 years to become dogs. He wanted to do it in decades. At the time, just suggesting that animals could be domesticated through selective breeding was dangerous in the Soviet Union. It went against official communist doctrine that rejected genetics. Scientists who study genetics have been sent to labor camps or executed, so Belyaev had to be careful. He disguised his real research as a simple fur farming experiment. His method was remarkably simple. He would approach each fox's cage and try to offer food. Most foxes would bare their teeth, growl, or hide in terror, but a few showed slightly less fear. These were the ones Belyaev selected for breeding. He wasn't choosing the prettiest foxes or the ones with the best fur. He selected them based on one trait only: how they reacted to humans. What happened next would stun the scientific world. Within just...
Is this gonna be extremely unethical? Cause it's kind of feeling unethical.
4 generations, about 4 years, the fox started showing unexpected changes. Not just in their behavior, but in their appearance. Belyaev was about to demonstrate how quickly evolution could work when humans deliberately guided it. By 1963, just 4 years into the experiment, the foxes started showing bizarre changes that nobody had predicted. Some fox pups were born with floppy ears, like puppy dogs.
Wait,
Others developed curled tails, completely different from the straight, rigid tails of wild foxes. But
this can't be real.
Change, some foxes were being born with patches of white fur, something never seen in wild silver foxes. These physical changes weren't what Belyaev was selecting for. He was only breeding the friendliest foxes.
But that's so cute.
By selecting for tameness alone, he was triggering a cascade of physical changes that made these foxes look more and more like dogs.
Oh my god.
It was as if he had accidentally pushed a button that activated an ancient genetic program for domestication. The changes
so what you're saying, hold on. So what you're saying is that the fucking fluffy tail and the fluffy ears and the floppiness is just the sign of a sweet animal. It's just the sign of an animal that's cute and nice. And so it's not just vibes. It's not vibes. It's not, oh, it's so cute. It's dead ass. It's real. That's like science. Science, bitch! Like Jesse Pinkman says.
By generation 6, some fox pups were actively seeking human attention. They would whimper for attention and wag their tails when humans approached. Behaviors never seen in wild foxes. Some even began making sounds similar to dog barks, something their wild cousins never did. But perhaps the most fascinating change was in their reproductive cycles. Wild foxes breed once a year during a specific season, but some of Belyaev's foxes started breeding twice a year, and their breeding season became longer. It was like their entire biological clock had been reset. Belyaev had stumbled onto something revolutionary. He wasn't just domesticating foxes.
Guys. Oh, guys. Yeah, misfire. Can't believe I have to do everything by myself in this chat. Pretty crazy. It's okay, I got this. I got this, guys. Alright. This is the button, I think. Found it. I did it! Yippee! Clap for Lucy's!
A year, and their breeding season became longer. It was like their entire biological clock had been reset. Belyaev had stumbled onto something revolutionary. He wasn't just domesticating foxes, he was showing how domestication itself worked at a genetic level. And he was doing it at a speed that nobody had thought possible. By generation
Then
10,
why didn't it
something
work?
even more unexpected had happened. Fox pups started opening their eyes earlier than normal wild foxes.
What?
Not by a day or two, but several days earlier. They also began responding to sounds sooner and showed curiosity about their environment much earlier than their wild counterparts. The changes in the fox's appearance became more dramatic.
This is super famous? Then why have I never heard of it before? Wait, do you guys just own fucking foxes in Russia? Is this a thing? Why don't we have them in America then? No, I get it. Because that would be admitting that a Russian did something good. And we're still like in the Cold War. We never really left.
Some were born with shorter legs and tails. Others developed rounded, dog-like skulls instead of the narrow, angular skulls of wild foxes.
First time hearing
Their teeth
about it,
became
see?
smaller, and their ears grew larger. Even their faces changed, developing shorter snouts that made them look more puppyish. But the most fascinating change was in their social development.
Puppy.
Wild fox pups go through a very specific socialization window, a brief period when
They need a name for a baby fox that's like puppy. But foxy doesn't really... foxy doesn't really work.
they can bond with others. In Belyev's foxes, this window stayed open much longer. Some adult foxes retain juvenile behaviors throughout their lives, like playfulness and social bonding, traits rarely seen in wild adults. These foxes weren't just becoming tamer, they were developing an ability to read human gestures and expressions. By generation 15, some foxes could
They
understand
removed the
human
fox's
pointing gestures,
autism.
as well as dogs do, something that even chimpanzees struggle with. They had developed a kind of social intelligence specifically.
Dude, the way this video is progressing and we're only 4 minutes in, I feel like it's gonna end with like, and then foxes enslaved humanity and took over the world properly and got rid of all of the common problems we were dealing with up until that point.
For interacting with humans. The Soviet scientific community couldn't ignore these results any longer. Belyev was demonstrating that complex genetic changes could happen far more quickly than anyone had believed possible, and he had the foxes to prove it. In the 1970s, the experiment faced a serious crisis. The Soviet Union's economic problems meant severe budget cuts. Belyev had to make an impossible choice.
No!
Which foxes to save.
That is
He
not
decided
a
to keep
fox!
only the tamest foxes.
No, it's
those showing
not!
the most unusual changes. This crisis actually accelerated the experiment in an unexpected way. Around this time, something remarkable happened with one of the female foxes. She began displaying an entirely new behavior. When her pups were born, she would bring them to the front of the cage to show them to the researchers, something even domestic dogs rarely do. It was as if she viewed the humans as part of her family group. The fox's intelligence was developing in surprising ways, too. They started showing problem-solving abilities that matched or exceeded those of dogs.
No. They're going... Guys, I literally said, I'm about to find out I have like a fucking fox master that I just don't know the name of who's fucking controlling my brain as we speak. There's no way.
Foxes learned to open their cage latches by
This
watching
can't
their
be real.
caretakers do it. Others developed unique ways of getting attention, like mimicking the sounds of other animals at the research facility. But perhaps the most fascinating development was in their communication. The foxes developed a whole range of vocalizations that wild foxes
Oh my
never
god,
used.
yeah, this
They
is
would
why
make different sounds
Firefox...
for different situations. One for greeting familiar humans, another for requesting food, and even specific sounds that seemed to express joy during play. The changes weren't just superficial. Blood tests revealed that these foxes had different hormone levels than their wild cousins. Their stress hormone levels were much lower, and they produced higher levels of serotonin, the same brain chemical
They got rid of
associated with happiness in
depression?
humans. By the 1980s, Belyev's foxes were providing insights that no one had expected.
I'm calling
Scientists
bullshit.
discovered the changes in the fox's behavior
I'm calling
and appearance
bullshit.
were linked to changes in their development as embryos. Small alterations in when certain genes were activated during development were creating massive differences in adult foxes.
Me when I say that I'm going to start a program to turn capybaras into domesticated pets and I just fucking lie. Like I just write down shit that never happened. It's like, yeah, it's the 3rd generation and this capybara is doing like my math homework. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, he's cracked. Yeah, trust me, bro.
The most striking example came from studying fox pups' adrenal glands. In the domesticated foxes, these glands were significantly smaller than in wild foxes. This meant they produced fewer stress hormones, making them naturally calmer. But this change happened before the pups were even born.
They're so
Their bodies
cute,
were being
though.
built differently from the very beginning. Then came an observation that stunned everyone. The tamest foxes were developing patches of white fur in specific patterns, often on their faces, feet, and tail tips. These patterns were remarkably similar to those seen in other domesticated animals, like dogs, cats, and horses. Somehow, selecting for tameness was activating an ancient genetic pattern that seemed to be shared across species. The foxes were even developing different color variations that had
Oh
never
my
been
god,
seen
they
in
became
wild silver
cats!
foxes.
That's
Some
a
were born with
tortoiseshell
brown or red
fox!
fur instead of silver. Others showed mottled patterns or unique markings.
That's a
Each new
deer!
generation seemed to bring more variety, just as had happened with dogs thousands of years ago. But the most fascinating discovery came from studying their brains. The domesticated fox's neural crest cells, which influence everything from fur color to facial features, were behaving differently during development. You've had essentially found the genetic switches that control domestication. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, the experiment faced its greatest threat. Research funding disappeared almost overnight.
Imagine you're in Russia, the Soviet Union collapses, everything is fucking chaos, and then your friend just looks at you and he says, "We're so fucking fucked." And imagine he's speaking in Russian, obviously, because I can't speak Russian. He's like, "We're so fucking fucked, dude. It's so over for us." And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do next." He's like, "Yeah, dude, no, I was supposed to get my fucking fox pet, like, tomorrow, but they don't have funding anymore."
Scientists hadn't planned for this. They had devoted their lives to these foxes, and now they could barely afford to feed them. Some resorted to selling a few of the foxes as pets to fund the continuation of the experiment. During this crisis, something unexpected happened. The foxes that had been sold as pets demonstrated just how successful the domestication had been.
Oh my
God. They integrated into human households as easily as dogs. One family reported their fox would wait by the door for their children to come home from school. Another fox learned to use a litter box without any training. But the most remarkable case was a fox named Pushinka. She had been placed with a family that also had dogs. Not only did she learn household routines from watching the dogs, but she also started displaying protective behaviors toward the family's young children, something that had evolved in dogs over thousands of years. The scientists made another fascinating discovery during this period. The fox's cognitive development had changed so dramatically that they could now learn things as puppies that their wild ancestors could only learn as adults. They showed understanding of human gestures from as young as 3 weeks old, earlier than wolf pups, or even some dog breeds. Even their play behavior had transformed. Wild foxes play primarily to practice hunting skills, but these foxes played simply for social bonding, just like dogs.
We can domesticate any animal if we try. Chatty, didn't we watch a fucking video about domesticating animals, or did I watch that alone? Because I could swear I've seen a video about why certain animals can't be domesticated, and I thought we watched it together, because if we didn't, we have to watch it together. But suffice to say, some animals can't be domesticated, not just because they can't be domesticated, but also because it wouldn't be fucking worth it.
They had developed the ability to understand play signals from both humans and other foxes, showing a level of social sophistication.
But foxes are worth it, clearly.
By 2000, advanced genetic testing reveals something extraordinary in Belle-Yve's foxes. Their genetic profile showed changes in over 100 genes, despite only being selected for tameness. The scientists had accidentally demonstrated how selecting for one trait could trigger widespread genetic changes. One particular discovery
Fox eugenics, it's over. Cancel the video.
A gene variant similar to Williams-Billings syndrome in humans, a condition that makes people unusually friendly and trusting. Somehow, selecting for friendly foxes had activated genetic pathways that parallel.
Oh my god, it literally looks like a dog.
The fox's intelligence continued to evolve in unexpected ways. They began showing signs of understanding human emotions, not just actions. When a researcher acted sad, some foxes would approach and make physical contact, displaying empathy like...
That's better than my cat! That's better than my cat! Because one time I tested her by fake crying. Like, I faked crying on the couch, and I sat next to her, and she just stared at me like I was insane. And so she doesn't even comfort me. I need a fox, dude!
Never seen in wild foxes. They weren't just tame, they were developing emotional intelligence. Perhaps the most fascinating development was in their problem-solving abilities. When presented with puzzles that had stumped their ancestors, these foxes would look to humans for help, just like dogs do. They had developed not just the ability to solve problems, but the understanding.
She knew you were faking. Wrong. I'm the best actress ever.
The experiment also revealed something about aging. The domesticated foxes were living significantly longer than their wild counterparts, some reaching 15 years compared to the typical 5 to 7 years in the wild.
Oh my god.
They
fixed foxes, bro. The fox patch is live only in Russia's server.
In recent years, researchers made an astounding discovery about the fox's vocal abilities. These domesticated foxes had developed a wider range of vocalizations than any wild fox population. They could produce sounds that fell into distinct categories: greeting calls, attention-seeking whines, and even what appeared to be laughter-like sounds during play. The most remarkable case was documented in 2019. A fox named Vika learned to mimic her owner's laughter, something previously thought impossible for foxes. She would make this sound specifically during play sessions, showing not just vocal mimicry, but an understanding of appropriate social
Proof
concepts.
or never to happen.
DNA analysis
Proof or never
revealed
happened.
another surprise. The domesticated foxes had developed changes in genes relating to memory and learning, similar to those found in domestic dogs. This explained why they could learn commands more quickly than their wild cousins and retain that learning for longer periods. Scientists also discovered that these foxes had developed an extraordinary ability to understand human body language. In tests, they...
Dude, why is this fox pilling me? Is this fox propaganda? Because why do I kind of want a fox now?
They could follow human gazes to find hidden food, understand pointing gestures from different angles, and even respond to human emotional states they couldn't directly see, like hearing someone cry in another room. But perhaps the most fascinating
Paid by
finding came
Big
from studying
Fox.
their pups. Unlike wild fox pups, which show fear responses from a very early age, these domesticated pups maintained an extended period of fearlessness during development. This longer socialization window allowed them to form bonds not just with humans, but with other species like cats and dogs.
Once you smell the fox, you will quickly change opinion. Once the fox smells me, it'll run away.
The impact of the fox experiment went far beyond what anyone expected. In 2020, scientists studying these foxes made a groundbreaking discovery about domestication itself. They found that friendliness towards humans wasn't just changing the fox's behavior, it was actually altering their immune systems. The
Oh my
domesticated
God.
foxes had developed stronger immune responses to common pathogens.
They're
but
perfect.
showed
They're the
less
perfect life
inflammatory
form.
response overall. This matched a pattern seen in domestic dogs, suggesting that living with humans actually reshapes an animal's entire biological defense system. One of the most unexpected findings came from studying the fox's sense of smell. Despite generations of domestication, their ability to detect scents remained as sharp as their wild cousins. However, they use this ability differently. While wild foxes primarily use scent for hunting and avoiding dangers, the domesticated foxes used it to identify individual humans
That
and their
looks like
emotional
a
states.
freaky
Researchers
dog
also
to
discovered
me.
something fascinating about their social structure. Unlike wild foxes, which are typically solitary, these domesticated foxes had developed complex social hierarchies more similar to wolf packs. They would establish leaders, share responsibilities, and even babysit each other's.
Oh my god, so the foxes are the real alphas and betas in the world. Holy shit. Is that why there are like so many fox fursuits? Like
pups,
furries?
behaviors never seen in wild foxes. The experiment revealed something profound about evolution, that changes in behavior could drive physical evolution, not just the other way around. By choosing friendly foxes, Belyaev had set in motion a cascade of genetic changes that no one had predicted. The latest findings from the fox experiment have opened up entirely new questions about evolution and
So wait, scamming evolution is possible? Scamming evolution is real? You can just scam it? I'm sure they'll never try to do that on people.
domestication. In 2021, researchers discovered that the domesticated fox's brains were physically different from their wild cousins. The areas controlling fear responses were smaller, while regions involved in processing social information had grown larger. But the most fascinating discovery came from studying their dreams. Using advanced monitoring equipment, scientists found that these foxes, like dogs,
They
appeared to
dream?
dream about their daily interactions with humans. Their brain activity during sleep matched patterns seen when they were playing with or getting attention from their human caretakers. The experiment also revealed
They
something
dream
unexpected
about
about
their
genetic
owners?
memory. When exposed to wild foxes through a fence, the domesticated foxes showed no recognition of them as the same species.
No, cause what happens? Does that mean Mello dreams about me? And when she's having a nightmare, is she dreaming that like I'm being mean to her? That's so sad. That's so sad. Please say it's not so.
After just 60 years of selective breeding, a blink of an eye in evolutionary terms, they had developed such different social behaviors that they no longer identified with their wild ancestors. Even more surprisingly, some of the foxes began showing behaviors that had never been selected
Don't be mean to
for.
her in her
They started
dreams.
bringing
I
toys to
can't
humans as gifts,
control
something
it.
neither wild foxes nor their domesticated parents had done. It was as if unlocking their social potential had opened doors to completely new behaviors. The foxes
Kellic,
had essentially
welcome.
created their own unique culture. They developed specific games they would play only with humans, different from how they played with other foxes. They even seemed to have preferences for certain human activities. Some would sit and watch television with their caretakers, while others showed interest in specific human tasks. Today, Belyaev's fox experiment continues at the Institute of Cytology and Genetics in Novosibirsk, Russia. After more than 60 years and 50 generations of foxes, it remains the longest-running genetic experiment in history. The current population includes some of the most domesticated foxes ever known, displaying behaviors that would have seemed impossible when the experiment began. These foxes represent more than just a scientific achievement. They're living proof of how quickly evolution can work when guided by humans.
I think if Snuffy wants to like put her money where her mouth is, she needs to do this with raccoons. Like she needs to fucking get the money and the funds to do a scientific experiment with raccoons. And I think any VTuber that has like an animal inspiring their design and it's not already domesticated needs to do this if they really want to stand out. This is going to be the next big thing.
Human
Oh,
selection,
Maid,
what took wolves thousands of
welcome.
years to achieve through natural selection, these foxes accomplished in decades through careful breeding. The experiment has implications far beyond fox domestication. It's helping us understand how wild animals became our companions throughout history, from dogs and cats to horses and cattle. It's even providing insights into human evolution. suggesting that our own species might have undergone a similar self-domestication process. But perhaps the most poetic outcome is what these foxes tell us about the bond between humans and animals. In just 60 years, they've developed
That
an understanding
humans
of human emotions,
need to own
and social
foxes
cues
to be
that took
happy.
dogs
That's what I
millennia to
learned.
achieve. They remind us that the capacity for companionship
Without them, we'll
might
never
written
be
more
at
deeply
peace.
in animal DNA than we ever imagined. Value died in 1985, but his foxes continue to teach us new things about evolution, genetics, and the nature of domestication.
They're so pretty,
Today, when
too.
one of these foxes wags its tail at a human visitor,
Like, I feel like foxes have the cutest traits of cats and the cutest traits of dogs. Because if I have to pick between cats and dogs, I think cats are cuter. But, like, foxes, they're fucking cuter than cats. They're so
brings a toy
cute,
as a
bro.
gift, it's not just displaying learned behavior. It's showing us a glimpse of how humanity's oldest animal friendships might have
Except
begun.
for the
See you
smell.
later.
It's okay, I smell bad. Like, why do I have to judge the fox for smelling like shit when I'm no better? Guys, I got this video and the mods didn't delete it, so I think it's safe for me to watch it. I think. You know? Yeah, the cat NTR arc. Maybe she should learn how good she has it, being an only cat right now. Maybe she'll have more appreciation for life if she had a fox sibling. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
This video was made possible.
Oh no, not honey! Oh, guys! Oh no, guys, they didn't know! Guys, they didn't know! They didn't know back then, okay? We didn't know what we know now. Yeah. Know what? Guys, don't use honey.
It's of rum, a mug of hard cider, and a full bottle of wine. Oh boy! Oh, I'm running late. I'll have to take it with me. Don't forget your lunch. It's a 6-pack of beer, a flask of whiskey, 6 shots of tequila, and as a special treat, a banana. Aw, gee whiz. I'm gonna be smashed today. Enjoy your day of operating sharp, dangerous farm equipment. I can't believe this is an acceptable way to live. God bless America. Okay, gotta go.
USA! USA!
I love my life!
Oh yeah. Wasn't there like a problem like in America with men like getting drunk and then coming home and then like you know what I mean? Like without me saying it? Like wasn't part of the push against alcohol because like
America, the land of beautiful strip malls, top-class infrastructure.
No, please
and
elaborate in
wonderful urban
detail. I
sprawl.
think I'll let the video do that for me.
Beautiful America. But what's the most American thing you can think of?
Hydration.
The Statue of Liberty? Mount Rushmore? A crazy
The
lady
most
in a...
American thing I can think of? McDonald's. I don't agree. I don't even think alcohol is that American, but it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I mean, I don't think Prohibition should have happened, but I don't really think of alcohol when I think of America. If anything, the countries I think of alcohol with is like Germany for beer and Italy for wine and shit like that. Oh, and Russia for vodka. But when I think of America, I never really think of alcohol, but that might be because I'm not a drinker. Hydration. Oh. Oh. America's Coke. Yeah, America's soda. If America is a beverage, it's soda. Maybe it was different back in the day.
mobility scooter yelling at a pigeon?
Well, it was, because Coke wasn't always a thing. I sound stupid, okay? Don't listen to me.
What if I told you the answer is alcohol? That's right. When the Puritans arrived on America's shores, they brought a ship packed with beer. George Washington provided his men with a daily cup of whiskey. Andrew Jackson's inauguration
Daily.
party left the White House so trashed that everybody had to be ordered outside. Frederick Douglass said whiskey made him feel like a president. Me too, Frederick. Me too. Americans drink at breakfast. Doctors prescribed their patients hard liquor. In the 19th century, Americans drank 3 times as much as their modern-day counterparts. That's a lot of whiskey. Hey, Jerry, how's that report
That
coming
is a
along?
lot of whiskey.
Already done, sir. I've also organized your paperwork, watered your flowers, and been a father figure to your children. Wait a minute. What's that smell? Have you been drinking at work? No, sir, I would never. Well, why not? Everyone else is doing it, but I got all my work done. You're fired!
He's
Americans
dead.
drink at work.
This really
They drink
happened,
at
by the way.
barn raisings, baptisms, and public hangings.
Baptism?
Heavy drinking was so normal that it was as American as apple pie. Hi, everyone. My name's Ron, and I'm an alcoholic. Get over yourself, Ron.
But guys, I mean, it's pretty crazy that they would just like do it publicly. Like, yeah, you want to see us hang this criminal? Come on over. Bring your beer. We're hanging the criminal.
all alcoholics. But more and more Americans began to wonder whether all of this truly was a normal way to live. Were Americans drinking, perhaps, a little too much? Well, one group in particular thought the answer to that was yes. You know them, you love them. Woman.
I'm done with this video. How dare they criticize? How dare they criticize women? Carradine, welcome. Hi. Hi. Gex the Serpent.
Drinking 3 or more bottles of gin per day.
Jesus fucking Christ. Slicks McGee, thank you for the 300 biddies. I appreciate it. Blah. Fucking 5 years old having more than 3 bottles of gin a day? Can you imagine going to like your fucking pediatrician as a kid and they ask you, so how often do you drink? And you're like, I'm 5. And they're like, how often do you drink, kid? And then you drop the fucking kid accent and you're like, at least 5 whiskeys a day, doc. Also, Gex the Server, thank you so much for the sub 6 months even. Holy shit, base, let's go, welcome.
Oh crap, woman, run!
No, not the
Hang
women.
on.
They're ruining
We just
our
want
fun.
to talk. Women talking in public? That's outrageous. Come on, Fred. You've got 2 kids and a wife at home. Yet here you are spending your entire paycheck on booze. And you, Dr. Spanky, you were on the cusp of discovering time travel. But what did you discover instead? The sweet, sweet joys of whiskey.
Many
That's
such
right.
cases.
Alcohol. It's destroying our families, our jobs, and our homes. She's right. She's right. Hang on, men. Don't let them get to you. This saloon is our safe space where our wives and children can't annoy us with reality, where we're free to be real men. Right.
They're having gay sex in there.
And what is it real men do? Take care of their families. I don't know what she's talking about. Do you take care of your family? No.
I love the
We
whispering.
drink beer, we shoot guns, and we mud wrestle.
See, they're gay! I told you they're gay!
As America's heavy drinking ruined more and more lives, moral resistance began to arise, and women were at the forefront, taking matters into their own hands at a time when women doing just about anything was shocking. They'd had enough of being victim to their husband's heavy drinking, and they were going to do something unprecedented. You're going to what? I'm going to protest. Oh, sweetie.
It's funny to
Women
be
can't
fair.
protest.
Hydration, thank you.
Starting in Ohio, before spreading nationwide, women began a crusade against alcohol. They marched through towns and cities, singing hymns, gathering outside saloons, and praying on their knees. Women praying was so terrifying that in some towns, schools were shut.
Wait until women find out that you don't need alcohol to be a deadbeat or abusive. It's going to be insane.
And business.
Yeah, honey, keep telling yourself, if he just wouldn't drink, he'd be nice to me. If he just wouldn't drink, he'd take care of my children. No! He's a fucking deadbeat!
This stagnated. On one occasion, firemen were called out to hose down the dangerous praying women. On another, the owner of a beer garden reportedly hauled a cannon outside and threatened to reduce the savage women to dust. Nevertheless, they persisted. They formed the WCTU in 1874. And they organized. They set up homes for inebriate women. They installed water fountains in public parks. They wrote textbooks for school children that contained some interesting claims about drinking alcohol.
What?
Here's little Timmy. Uh-oh. Looks like Timmy's gonna have his first drink.
Timmy?
He's taking a small sip of whiskey, and Timmy has spontaneously combusted. The end. The woman's efforts weren't in vain.
That is how
in
it
small
works.
towns across
That's
America,
why I don't
drugstores
drink,
agreed
not
to
even
stop
once.
fulfilling prescriptions for alcohol. Men committed themselves to giving up drink. Inspired by the woman's moral fervor, some saloon owners closed their doors. The Women's Crusade and other temperance movements were forcing people to reconsider alcohol's role in society, and more people began to side with the growing temperance movement. Many states had even begun enacting their own dry laws that restricted the sale and use of alcohol. One of them was Kansas, where alcohol had been outlawed since 1881.
Kansas?
Despite this, many illegal saloons remained open, and authorities had done just about nothing to stop them. One woman
Because they're going there. Because they're going there. Because they fucking go there to drink, bro.
disgusted by what she saw, decided she would take the law into her own hands. And not just any woman, a terrifying, hatchet-wielding, sweet old lady named Carrie
She's
Nation.
so ugly.
Armed with her trusty hatchet and a bag of what she called smashers, she traveled from town to town
Smashers?
visiting saloons. But she wasn't there to get smashed. She was there
To smash!
The men could do nothing but cower as
No
sweet little
way.
Carrie hulked out and tore the place to
Guys, look how bad alcohol is. It'll make you pick up a hatchet and start throwing it at oh wait, she was the sober one.
shreds. She went to Kiowa and smashy smashed. Wichita, smashy smash. Topeka, smashy smash. On a couple of occasions, she was arrested, but each time they were like, okay, Carrie, we're gonna let you go so long as you promise to be a good girl and not smash up any more saloons, okay? Screw you, pig! Yeah, I think she's gonna be all right. Smash, smash, smash. Carrie's tactics shocked the other members of the
Oh my
Women's
God,
Christian
she's
Temperance
hulking
Union,
out.
but she assured them, and this is a quote, ladies, you do not know how much joy you will have until you smash, smash, smash. Carrie became
Is this a real quote? Because if that's a real quote, she doesn't give a fuck about outlawing alcohol. She just wants to kill. She just wants to fucking murder. If she was born in this fucking generation, she would have been a fucking headline at like a school, okay?
a household name, and she hoped her unusual tactics would spread across the country. But unfortunately, many of the women's movements eventually slowed down. Why? Well, because of this kind of thing. Thelma, I ripped my pants again. Ugh, well, you'll have to sew them yourself because I'm going out protesting.
He doesn't even know how to do
I don't know
that.
how to sew.
I knew
Burn the house down and get eaten by alligators. What? Ha, don't be stupid, Mitch. Look, I've got to go. Call me stupid?
So
She's the
learn,
one.
can you imagine extra, okay? Let's be a little bit logical about this. Can you imagine being a woman in this generation and then you look your drunkard husband in the eyes and you say, you learn how to sew. You know what's gonna happen? Let's see you do it, extra.
Hey, Thelma! Look who's stupid now! See, while the women were out protesting, there
Is
was
that
nobody to
sex
do the
noise? Oh, it
cooking
could
and
be.
cleaning and being seen and not heard, and they gradually had to return to their duties at home. But where the women had got the ball rolling, a new movement was about to take that ball all the way to Washington, D.C. I'm talking about the Anti-Saloon League. The Anti-Saloon League was a
Anti-Saloon.
political pressure group run by a very sweet-looking
Hi,
old
Brett.
man. But don't let that deceive you. This guy was an evil genius. While the women's movements were interested in a whole range of issues, Wayne Wheeler and the Anti-Saloon League only cared about enemy number one, Mr. Alcohol.
No way. No way. So the women were actually talking about more than just alcohol, but then the guys were like, you know what? All those other things, I don't know about all that, but the alcohol, they're right. And so now those women are remembered as being alcohol-hated bitches by everyone, including me, because the video itself didn't even mention any of that except in passing. So I'm just gonna assume that all they cared
And
about
as
was
a
alcohol and they were
result, They were
stupid.
extremely effective. They were able to exploit the fears of the American people. And I mean everyone's fears.
What
Here's how
fears?
they did it. Hello, sir. Welcome to the Liberal Progressive Rally.
Okay.
Why don't you introduce yourself? Well, I'm Patty, and I'm an immigrant from Ireland. And tell me, Patty, do you
Irish?
drink? Oh, yes. I drink a lot. See, folks, people like Patty come here looking for a better life, only to end up drunk in the gutter. Don't worry, sir. We're gonna help you.
But drinking is
You're doing
Irish
great.
culture.
I just need you for one more thing. Hey, Christian conservatives. This is Patty. He's a dirty Catholic Irish immigrant who's come to destroy America with his alcohol-fueled debauchery. Workers were told alcohol was a capitalist ploy to keep them subjugated. Factory owners were told alcohol was making their irresponsible workers lazy. The black community was warned alcohol was hindering its progress, while racists were warned alcohol would turn black men into brutes. In one of the most confusing eras of American politics, totally opposing groups found themselves agreeing on at least one thing: alcohol was bad. The Anti-Saloon League also made great use of propaganda, something prohibitionists have been doing for decades. Take this specimen, for
This is
example.
the only
that was
time
what
this
will happen
ever
to you
worked,
if you start
apparently.
drinking. Let's see. First you take a drink, you get a little rowdy. Okay. You make some new friends. Nice. Then
Nice.
you become homeless. You turn to crime. And
What the fuck?
But the most effective tactic Wheeler used to force prohibition on America was pressure politics. In any election he could, Wheeler
Guys, it
very
was a stunt
successfully
gun, it's
rounded up
not
support
real.
against any politician who was in favor of alcohol. In Ohio alone, he had 70 state representatives and the popular Republican governor ousted from office and replaced with prohibitionists. Suddenly, every politician in America was afraid of Wayne Wheeler. Even those who
Wayne
enjoyed
who?
alcohol in private
That's his
began
name?
pretending to be against it in public.
That sounds like
Alcohol
a
is
cartoon
delicious.
villain name.
I mean, malicious. Sorry, Wayne. I'm really drunk right now. Then it really hit the fan in 1917, when America found itself fighting in the First World War against Germany. Anti-German sentiment exploded. Sauerkraut became Liberty cabbage. German measles became Liberty measles. And Dachshunds became the embodiment
No
of
way.
evil. See, America? You've always been this way. The biggest brewers in America were German, and Wheeler saw to it that drinking alcohol became akin to pro-German treason. The German brewers desperately tried to fight back,
Lager.
creating their own propaganda, presenting beer as a healthy beverage, one that you could even give to your kids. As you can imagine, it
What the
didn't go
hell is
down
that
well.
outfit?
President Wilson instituted some temporary wartime prohibition measures to save grain for food, and with many in the country now in support of prohibition, all that was left was to make it law. One problem was that taxes on alcohol made up nearly 40% of the US government's annual revenue, and the government wasn't just about to give that up. No problem.
I can't believe they managed to turn it into a law and then it just was a complete and total failure. How does this happen?
The Anti-Saloon League helped lobby for the creation of a new income tax on the American people. And just like that, the government was no longer reliant on alcohol. Prohibition was finally introduced to Congress in 1913, not just as a law,
Prohibition.
but a constitutional amendment.
Amendment.
In 1917, as the House held their final vote on the Prohibition Amendment, Wheeler was watching from the gallery. You spineless cowards. I know half of you drink, yet here you are bowing down to Ned Flanders up there. Look at him, like he's some kind of Caesar. Ugh, don't be so dramatic. I obviously don't think I'm Caesar. Now release the lion. In the end, Prohibition passed the House easily, 282 votes to 128, and the states ratified the new amendment by 1919. America, a nation obsessed with liberty and freedom, had just voluntarily given up its private right to choose whether or not to drink alcohol.
I mean, does it shock you? Does it shock you? 1016, welcome. I love that they didn't get rid of the income tax afterwards. Wait. Income tax? They could have gotten rid of it and they didn't? I'll never forgive them. I'll never forgive the people in history. It is unforgivable. How dare they? America loves banning things that should be a choice, you know? Like weed. It's still crazy to me that that's not just left up to the person who wants to consume it. Like, that's still an insanity to me. And there's a bunch of other different examples I won't go into. Those are a little
Yeah, it
too
is crazy
political,
how
so...
prohibition
We
directly
did it.
led to the federal income tax.
Kyle, thanks for the 500 biddies. Fuck the federal income tax.
Folks, we fixed everything. America will be perfect forever. But you just dissolved America's fifth largest industry and lost tens of thousands of jobs for us immigrants. No, you idiot. You don't get it. We helped you, idiot. Ugh,
Idiot.
I could really go for a beer. Oh, no. Immediately after Prohibition went into effect, alcohol consumption in America decreased as Americans followed the law and tried not drinking. Man, if we're gonna be law-abiding good boys, we need something else to fill the dark, lonely void that delicious beer once did.
Like
Well,
drinking.
How about we crack open a nice cold
Moonshine!
can
Moonshine!
of water?
Oh.
Hell yeah. Toss it over.
Oh.
Nah, this isn't doing it for me. Let's try
Oh.
knitting. This isn't filling the dark void at all. Wanna play some kites? Ah, screw it. Let's go get some illegal beer. While it seemed like many Americans supported Prohibition, after the law went into effect, it seemed like
Maybe video gaming saved men from becoming alcoholics because life is so hard, but then video games came and it replaced it and it gave people hobbies again. Like base video gaming saving us from pure alcoholism, right?
just as many Americans intended to keep on drinking, and they would go on to find a variety of ways to break the new law. Here's a question for you. Do you like breaking the law? Well, shame.
No! I pay for every subscription service legally! I hate breaking the law!
on you. Or do you like saving money when you shop online? Then you should
Not
use...
this again! Not this again! No, guys. Guys. I got it. Don't worry. I got you. I saved you. You're welcome. I love you, Chatty.
Where were we? Oh yeah. Punching Patty, passing Prohibition, and procuring pints. Pretty soon after the new law went into effect, the failures of Prohibition were already beginning to rear their ugly heads. For starters, the details of the new Prohibition law, written by none other than Wayne Wheeler himself, turned out to be more draconian than expected. Many Prohibition supporters only wanted to outlaw hard liquor and hoped beer would remain legal, but the Volstead Act outlawed anything over 0.5%. That would make Liberty Cabbage illegal. Secondly,
Liberty
the new law was full
Cabbage!
of loopholes that Americans very quickly began to exploit. For example, while the sale and manufacture of liquor was illegal, drinking it wasn't. And you could also keep any
What?
alcohol you had before the law went into effect. So many private clubs hoarded huge amounts of alcohol
That's
that saw them through the
insanely
entire
stupid.
Prohibition period.
What?
Whiskey intended for medicinal purposes was also allowed, and doctors basically became bartenders. It looked
This
as
was
though
so
a full-on
poorly thought
epidemic had
out.
broken out, as there was a sudden surge in prescriptions for whiskey. Sacramental wines used by churches and synagogues were also permitted. Orders for communion wine suspiciously skyrocketed by millions of gallons. And as
Negan,
rabbis had
welcome.
access to religious wine, suddenly everyone was becoming a rabbi. You had Rabbi Pat O'Leary, Rabbi LL Cool J, Rabbi Fluffy. But don't worry,
Cool
I'm
J.
sure all these definitely legitimate religious figures couldn't possibly be selling wine in the back alley after Mass. Yep, definitely nothing strange going on here. New products also hit the shelves in stores, such as Vine Glow. a
Vine
brick
Glow!
of dehydrated grape juice, itself not alcoholic, and therefore perfectly legal. But the packaging did contain a strangely specific warning. After dissolving the brick in a gallon of water, do not place the liquid in a jug in the cupboard for 20 days, because then it would turn into wine. I'll take 1,000.
You sound like the people who are like, please don't go to this website because it illegally provides free textbooks for your college classes, which is illegal and against the law, and you don't want to participate in that.
Yes, sir. Now, at this point, I want you to think back for me, if you will, to the year 2005. You're the coolest kid around, and you convince your parents to rent the greatest movie of all time from your local Blockbuster. But the movie starts with a strange message. Something about not downloading a car? You immediately
I would.
disregard that and hop on Kazaa to download the greatest song of all time, and in the process, drain your dad's bank account with copious amounts of ransomware. You were breaking the law.
I totally never
bad
did
boy
this.
or girl, but did anyone come to arrest you? No. That's my point. If no one's enforcing a law while everyone's breaking it, is it really a
Exactly.
law? And so it was with Prohibition. See, the conservative-led governments of the decade were also the kind of people who believed in small government spending. So they'd passed a law that would be extremely difficult to enforce, but also didn't want to spend any of the money required to enforce it. The newly created Bureau of Prohibition only had 1,500 agents to cover the entire country. That's one agent for every 70,000.
I love how that anti-piracy ad backfired and actually increased piracy. It's very ironic because I have seen something in the VTuber community recently where someone is criticizing an act of piracy in the community, and 9 times out of 10, when you draw attention to piracy and the fact that it's happening, you're just telling people that there is a way to pirate that content. Like, you're spreading awareness about it, right? And you're telling people where to find it. And you can say as many times as you want, this is bad, I wish this wasn't happening. I'm sure you have good intentions, but when you spread it around, you're actually helping people find it when they otherwise could not have. So a lot of the time when it's piracy, it just has the pure opposite effect.
666 Americans in a massive country with 12,000 miles of coastline and one gigantic land border with Canada. Good luck, schmuckos. And all these clever little loopholes people were using to score illegal booze were only just the beginning. America was about to devolve into alcohol-fueled criminal chaos. By outlawing it, Prohibition had made alcohol a precious commodity, and millions of Americans would become outlaws as they found a variety of ways to score illegal booze. For example, many Americans began making their own liquor, illegal stills from
If we're all criminals, then none of us are. Hold on, I'm gonna read this real quick. It was Prohibition that gave the last push to give birth to organized crime from criminal gangs with town to coast scale influence, a true criminal enterprise seeking to expand worldwide. Well, yeah. When something become illegal, me mafia profit. Very true, very real, many such cases.
making moonshine were found by Prohibition agents from the hills of Kentucky and the caves of Arizona to parking lots in major cities, and even in the homes of Prohibition-supporting politicians. Oh, come on now, fellas. I voted for Prohibition. I'm not gonna have an illegal still. What's this? That's my son, Freddie. Say hi, Freddie. Sir, this is obviously an illegal still.
sorry, I'm in the way.
How dare you? Hey,
He's a
what's this in
bat.
the bathtub? That's bath water.
Oh, there he is.
Why does it taste like alcohol? Here's a better question. Why are you tasting my bathwater?
Yeah, freak.
Weirdo. Come on, Freddy.
He's like, Belle Delphine, I was born in the wrong generation.
Let's get away from these perverts. To discourage moonshining, the government began adding extra toxins to many of the products moonshiners were using, which resulted in many cases of severe illness and death. But alcohol wasn't just being made at home. Along America's vast coastlines, rum runners smuggled alcohol into the country by sea. A floating supermarket.
You know that one visual novel I talk about all the time? Well, not all the time, but I've mentioned it more than once on stream. The one with like the fucking Italian mafia. There's like a whole plot point in the second game how one of them has connections to America and is fucking making money by giving alcohol to America.
Known as Rum Row, extended along the East Coast just beyond America's maritime limit, and bootleggers frequently sailed out in small boats to pick up shipments of booze. These bootleggers could then be found selling their illegal products everywhere, even in the holes of Congress. Wow, Pop. One day,
so
I want to
funny.
work here. Well, son, if you work hard and never give up, one day even you could be a massive hypocrite.
This is just like how the cop arrests someone for smoking weed and then goes home and rolls a joint. It's just like today. Time is, again, a circle.
Even President Harding was known to serve his cabinet bootlegged whiskey, and some bootleggers were so successful, they became bazillionaires, such as Roy Olmsted, an ex-cop who became one of the biggest employers in the Seattle area from smuggling booze. Unfortunately, all of his whiskey came from Canada. Yuck.
Ew,
All this criminality
yeah,
was being
ugh.
made possible by copious amounts of corruption. Across the country, armies of government officials were persuaded to turn a blind eye. Bootleggers became so rich, it was no problem to stuff a couple $1,000s into the front pocket of the police chief, or the mayor, or their disapproving mother. And some cops were getting almost as rich as the bootleggers. All right, men, everyone gather in. I've received word that one of you has been taking bribes from bootleggers. Any ideas who? Kevin, perhaps. Got any thoughts? No, sir. Many police officers came from the same communities that drank a lot, and they weren't about to arrest their own granddads for knocking back some homemade gin. But all this isn't to say there was no enforcement. Plenty of government officials were doing their best to enforce the new laws, and some unlucky individuals
Winning?
received very harsh penalties, such as a Michigan mother who was sentenced to life in prison for small-scale moonshining. Cases like these were widely reported in the media,
That's
and only
so
served to make
fucking
Prohibition
funny.
even more unpopular. But not just that. The media also loved to cover the exploits of the most famous bootleggers, turning them into national icons. One of the biggest bootleggers was a man named George Remus. Originally a lawyer, he watched as his
No, I just find it morbidly humorous that they found like the one woman who was an alcoholic in the entirety of America and they put her in jail for life. Like they could have just found some random drunk guy like on the street. It would have been so easy, but they went on the fucking hunt for that shit.
bootlegger clients paid off enormous fines like it was nothing and proclaimed bootlegging's the business for me. But unlike most bootleggers, Remus had big brain, and he came up with a pretty clever system. See, there were millions of gallons of liquor produced before Prohibition that were sitting in distillery warehouses, and it could only be sold with government permission to drug companies. So Remus set up his own drug company and bought all the liquor. Then he set up his own transport
For
company
medical
to
purposes.
transport the liquor. And then he would send his own men out with guns to intercept his own transport vehicles. And this would happen. Hey man,
Hi,
this is a
Robo
stick-up.
Spartan.
Oh no, please don't hurt me. I won't hesitate to shoot. Please, I have a wife and kids. Hand over all the
Damn, even these little... They're not really stick figures. Even these little blobs look so well dressed. I hate what the internet did to fedoras. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. They're a cool hat. Why do they have such a bad reputation? Please, please leave the fedoras alone. Leave them alone. 91 Bucky, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate it. Blah, blah.
whiskey, Fatty. Hey! Fatty isn't in the script, you jerk!
He is
After
kind of
stealing
bigger
all
than the
whiskey
other
from
blobs.
himself, he could then sell it for big bucks. The perfect crime. Unfortunately, Remus was eventually caught by a goody two-shoes Prohibition director in Indiana who wouldn't take Remus's bribes, and the government found Remus guilty of
Romantic.
violating the Volstead Act 3,000 times. For 2 years, as Remus sat in prison, his wife promised to take care of all of his money. And by take care of his money, she meant have an affair with a Prohibition agent, sell off everything
Fucking
Remus
whore!
owned, and file for divorce. When Remus finally
Prometheus,
got out
welcome.
and found his big fancy mansion empty with his wife gone, he reportedly broke.
How are fedoras ruined? They're not ruined. They're not ruined if you literally don't care at all. If you don't care at all, they're not ruined. But the amount of people who are going to appreciate it as a piece of fashion in this year that is today is next to zero.
Down in tears. A few months later, during their divorce trial, he spotted his wife in a car in Cincinnati. Remus hopped in a cab and asked the driver to run her off the road. The driver was like,
Could you wear a fedora
okay.
though, Lucy?
Then Remus
Yeah,
got out of the cab
obviously.
and shot his wife dead. He immediately handed himself into the police, and his next trial,
And that's what happens to cheating whores. And he went right to the cops too. And he said, I shot my cheating whore wife. I know what you have to do to me. And the cop said, well, I hate to do it.
this time for murder, became a national sensation. Remus defended himself, claiming insanity, occasionally carrying out skillful questioning, occasionally crying in the corner. But the nation felt bad for him. His wife had screwed him over, and so when after just 19 minutes of deliberation, the jury returned and declared him not guilty, the court
Holy
erupted
jury.
into celebration. And just to remind you,
When will juries get based like this again?
this guy bluntly admitted to murdering his wife. The American justice system. Mwah. As alcohol poured into the nation, a lot of it was going to a new type of drinking establishment that had been booming in popularity. A secret drinking establishment. So secret that from the outside they often looked like ordinary shops or homes. So secret that you usually needed a password to get in. So
Password
secret
1, 2,
that
3.
everybody
That's
knew about.
secure. That's secure. Burb down. Thank you for the tier 3, 13 months. I appreciate it.
Speakeasies. And once you were in, the
Hydration.
party went all night long. Scantily clad flappers, snake ladies, jazz. It was a roaring time to be alive. Some publications even
roaring
posted reviews
20s.
of these illegal clubs, and bribes galore kept the party going. It seemed like half the police officers and federal agents in cities like New York were receiving kickbacks from speakeasy owners. Hey! What the Kevin Costner is going on here? Officer O'Hannity, taking bribes? Why am I not surprised?
Why they always have their money on the
Simmons?
table like
For
that?
shame. Mom? What would Dad say? Ask him yourself. Dad would say, quit being such a wet blanket and let Daddy earn his tips. Anytime a speakeasy was shut down by authorities, it seemed like 3 more would just pop up elsewhere. And some neighborhoods were so full of them that one resident began hanging a sign to try to keep partygoers from constantly knocking on her door. It really seemed like the new laws regarding alcohol, in some places, were simply being ignored. And one
No
Prohibition
shit.
agent who traveled the country liked to see which city was the most defiant by timing how long it took for him to be offered a beer after he arrived.
That's so
His
fucking
winner?
funny.
New Orleans, where a cab driver offered him a drink after just 35 seconds. Bravo! Many voices in Congress were already speaking out against Prohibition and its failures. To display how ridiculous the whole thing was, one Republican congressman gathered the media to all come and watch him drink a homemade beer. When he
That's
asked
such a
a passing
great
police
stat.
officer if he'd like to arrest him, the officer said no. Hey Wayne, is all this what you had in mind? I thought we were gonna make the country better, but it almost seems like it's worse. What do you mean? Alcohol consumption is down. Well, that may be true in your small town world, but it says here drinking in some areas is up, as are arrests for public intoxication, drunk driving, and incidents of liver cirrhosis. The general chaos has turned America into a nation of criminals with no respect for the law, and all these attempts at enforcement are just costing the economy valuable money and eating up judicial time and resources. Release the lines.
Time
The
is a
social
circle.
change and
Time
corruption
is a
that
circle.
Wheeler and the
Time is a
anti-saloon league
circle.
had been so eager to prevent, in the cities at least, was surging. See, when something's legal, you can usually regulate and control it. But make that thing illegal, and often anything, becomes fair game. Legal drinking age, gone. Mandatory closing hours for clubs and bars, gone. Other unspoken sociocultural rules surrounding alcohol, gone, gone, gone. In speakeasies,
Wait, what
different-
was that last one? Well, people shouldn't pee into their neighbor's mailbox while singing Danny Boy. Well, I do that one, but I don't really sing Danny Boy. I'm not really sure. That song might be before my time.
Different genders and ethnicities were beginning to mingle in a way they hadn't done before. The Roaring Twenties saw a monumental shift in culture, not least of all because now men and women could flirt in public without being damned for eternity. An outraged Wayne Wheeler did his best to make sure that
Wrong.
anyone breaking
God
the
is
law
still
was
judging
punished.
you.
He had even stricter legislation put in place in New York. But all this did was clog up the justice system with petty drinking violations, and judges began letting everyone off with
Time
light
is a
fines,
circle.
so the judges could get back to dealing with things that actually mattered. You know, things like murder. And there was plenty of murder. Because bootleggers and moonshiners were one thing, but Prohibition had given another kind of criminal an opportunity to make a fortune. Mobsters and gangsters. Hey, Fat Tony. Big news. Hey, Fat Joey. What's up? I just got word from Fat Louie here that the government's outlawing alcohol. You know what that means. That means we're gonna be rich. Quick, call Fat Polly and let's go hijack a liquor truck now. All right. Hang on, let me tell my wife first. Hey, Fat Susan!
Lucy
No
is a
pizza-
mobster. Chatty, would you like Lucy in a mobster outfit, only a skirt instead of pants? And then I have like a mafia fit. Would that be sexo? Yatta!
For Fat Joey tonight, capiche? Stop calling
With
me
fedora?
Fat
Of
Susan.
course with a
Come on.
fedora. It'll be the cringiest one
Rival
yet.
gangs began to battle in America's cities, raiding each other's transports, assassinating rivals, and trying to take
And a
control of their
Tommy
city's
gun,
illicit
duh.
booze trade. Every city had its top dog. Detroit had the Purple Gang. New England had Charles King Solomon. But no city was as infamous for gang violence and murder as Chicago. The city had multiple gang factions, and at first, they agreed to stay in their own neighborhoods. But the thing about criminals is that they're criminals, and the agreements inevitably broke down. One day, the leader of the Italian Southside gang was walking along the street when this happened. And he was like, you know, I think I'm done with this, and left for New York, leaving his crime empire
left?
to his chief enforcer, none other than Al Capone. Having been knifed in the face in his younger years, Capone earned himself the name Scarface. Although interestingly, he hated that nickname and preferred to be called Snorky. Snorky was ruthless, just like any other gang leader in America. But what set him apart from others, the reason he's become synonymous with—
Guys, don't call me Scarface. Call me Snarky. And then following that up with he was ruthless, that just does not compute to me.
1920s gang warfare is this. Most other gang leaders would try to keep a low profile because, you know, they're killing and murdering and stuff. But Capone lived for the fame and kept an extremely high public profile.
Jeez,
frequently
I wonder
speaking
why
with the
they
media
got
about
him.
his exploits and presenting himself as a gracious host, providing Chicago with good times. No need to thank me, fellas. I just provide the city with a valuable commodity while doing away with the competition. You mean you murder people? Whoa, who said anything about murder? I just, you know, force my rivals underground. When you do the thing with the hands, it seems like you're talking about
Tax
murder.
evasion?
Whoa, look at you
No,
with the
guys,
brains.
it's so
No, I
easy
just
to
help
evade
people retire
taxes.
from life, so murder. Whoa! Al Snorky Capone was somewhat of an enigma, brutal in how he dealt with enemies. But in front of the camera, he was all smiles. One day, he'd be ordering hit after hit. The next, he'd be signing autographs in Wrigley Field. One day, he'd be bludgeoning members of his own gang with a baseball bat for conspiring against him. The next, he'd be playing Santa at a nearby parochial school.
Wait, is this
and
real?
no murder could ever be traced back to him. Just like every other criminal, he stuffed the pockets of city officials
Sorry,
with
Lucy,
cold,
can
hard
you repeat
cash.
that
And
into the
any
microphone?
Whoa!
who did try to oppose him sometimes found themselves being thrown down the steps of City Hall
Houdini,
in broad
welcome.
daylight. Problem solved. The public couldn't get enough of Capone. He quickly became a household name as people romanticized the gang life he lived. And this became a source of concern for the people at the very top. President Hoover? Ugh, what is it now, Miles? I'm busy. Well, it's just that there's a lot of crime, sir. Crime? How long
I mean, I know they're making fun of it, but like if somebody interrupted me while I was doing a Lego set, I'd be pissed.
has that been happening? Well, since the dawn of man, sir. What? Would you like me to blame it on the Democrats again? No, Miles, I want you to blame it on squirrels. Yes, the Democrats! Now stop wasting my time! Since having a crime lord controlling public officials and winning the hearts of the people probably wasn't a good thing, Hoover personally ordered that something be done about this Capone fellow. But before he knew it, President
face is
Hoover
like-
was also dealing with another major problem. You know him. You love him. Woman. The Prohibition era had been going on for nearly a decade, and anyone with a brain could see that it really wasn't going very well. One person with a brain was Pauline Sabin, an extremely influential and rich woman who served on the
She looks
Republican National
British.
Committee, fundraised for Republican presidents, and had a secret wine room in her giant mansion. She initially supported Prohibition, but was now disgusted at the chaos it had created, and she began a new women's movement, this time not for Prohibition, but against it. Being the extremely influential woman she was, her new organization gained nearly 1.5 million members within 2 years, 5 times that of the Women's Christian Temperance Union.
Women today would call her a pick-me.
She hated that the WCTU claimed to speak for all women, and she began calling for the repeal of the 18th Amendment. President Hoover, I helped fund your campaign, and now I want you to end Prohibition. Miles, what is it I say when I'm not going to do anything? You'll look into it, sir. Oh yeah, that's right. Pauline? I'll look into it. Sabin gave speeches on the steps of Congress and helped start a growing push among the American people against Prohibition. But Hoover, a prohibitionist himself, wasn't budging. Then, on the 14th of February 1929, something happened that shocked the nation. Men, thought to be working for Al Capone, tricked some Irish mobsters into meeting them at a garage in Chicago.
Irish
thinking they were there to
mobsters?
purchase hijacked whiskey.
Wait. There were Irish mobsters? Real? How uneducated on the mafia am I?
The mobsters were lined up against the wall by men dressed as police, and they were shot. The Valentine's Day massacre had people outraged. It was cruel and almost felt like American mobsters had finally crossed a line. People were sick of the violence, and in part, they blamed Prohibition
We
for
want
helping to
beef!
create it. The pressure on Hoover to do something was steadily increasing. Fine. Miles, I want you to put a report together to see if this whole thing is working. You mean the thing where mobsters are becoming increasingly powerful and massacring each other in the streets and everyone is disregarding the law and half our public officials are corrupt and taking bribes? That thing? Yeah, I want to know if it's working or not, Miles. Stop wasting my time! Hoover continued to drag his feet on Prohibition, but after the
What an
Valentine's Day
idiot.
massacre, he was still determined to do one thing. He wanted Al Capone in prison. Since Capone had been so careful, the FBI were having a hard time charging him with anything, but eventually, they got him. Capone, we know you're supplying Chicago with alcohol and you've been involved in countless murders. Whoa, look at you with the crazy talk. I ain't done none of that stuff. But you're rich, right? You're damn right I am. And so where'd all the money come from, Capone? All right, I'll let you in a little secret, but you gotta promise not to tell anyone, okay? I don't pay my taxes. Whoa! For all of his murdering, the IRS finally got Capone on tax evasion. At his trial, he didn't seem too concerned though, and spent most of his time having a laugh with his lawyers. Hey Capone, I gotta know, why are you so confident you're gonna win here? Well, Your Honor, because I'm an honest man with a big heart who's passionate about working for the good of the people. And also because I threatened the entire jury's families. Luckily, at the last minute, the judge replaced the entire jury pool with a new one that Capone's men hadn't yet got to, and Capone was found guilty. He was sentenced to 11 years in federal prison.
And let me guess, all those families died anyway.
The harshest penalty ever given to a tax evader. But even with Capone locked away,
Until they realize how many taxes I'm stealing. Oh, fucking dab.
the violence in Chicago and other cities continued. And in response,
Hydration?
the movement against Prohibition continued to grow. And the final nail in Prohibition's coffin came in 1929. After a decade of
Or
booming
should I
economic
say
growth
billion,
under three Republican presidents,
$200,000
the stock
VTuber
market
awards, by the way.
plummeted, and America was thrown into the grips of the Great Depression. It was an awful time. 1 out of every 5 workers, 15 million people, would lose their jobs. Half the nation's banks failed. Temporary shantytowns were built for the broken homeless in public parks. Suddenly, very few people had time to care about Prohibition. Expensive enforcement of an unenforceable law didn't seem like that big of a priority when people were having their homes repossessed and losing their life savings.
No
and many
shit.
began to argue that repealing Prohibition would create vital jobs and tax revenue for the government. Yet President Hoover doubled down. Here's that report you asked
He's
for,
so
sir. Gimme.
stupid.
Prohibition is...
Is he a bad president? I don't know a lot about Hoover, but he sounds like a dumbass.
Great. Fantastic news. Sir, it says here Prohibition is great at undermining the rule of law in America. Miles, it says the word great. That means good. Now stop wasting my time! The public, increasingly shocked at the violence they saw in the streets, the corruption they saw in the government, the general disregard for the law, and now an economic calamity, had enough. For his re-election, Hoover faced a Democratic candidate who promised to finally do something about Prohibition, Franklin D. Roosevelt. Crowds cheered as FDR made his campaign speeches promising to modify the Volstead Act, and Pauline Sabin, a lifelong Republican, along with her 1.5 million supporters, endorsed Roosevelt. And on Election Day, it was a landslide. Before FDR had even taken office, Republicans in
Fucking Christ!
on Election Day, it was a landslide.
Oh! That's not a wave, that's a tsunami!
Before FDR had even taken office, Republicans in Congress began the process of passing the 21st Amendment to repeal Prohibition. One of FDR's first acts as president was to pass the Beer Permit Act, which made beer legal while the new amendment was being ratified. In 1933, with the passage of the 21st Amendment, Prohibition was finally over, and the people celebrated like they'd just won a world war. Bars and taverns were packed. The WCTU were inconsolable. Wayne Wheeler was dead. And the celebration, particularly in America's cities, was intense. Heading into the mid-1930s, the effects of Prohibition were clear to see. From now on, culture around drinking had changed, with men and women drinking together, not in saloons, but in bars and taverns. The crime syndicates that had been given so much power through Prohibition remained powerful as they moved on to other things.
No shit.
Some states opted to remain dry, with Oklahoma only repealing its Prohibition laws in 1959. To this day, there are still counties in America with some form
Time's
of
a
prohibition.
circle, chatty.
So what did we learn today, kids? What's the big lesson here? What's the moral of this story that we can all take away and apply to our day-to-day lives? Maybe that you shouldn't force your own morals on others who don't share them? Maybe that if you tell Americans not to do something, that's the one thing they'll definitely do. Or maybe there is no lesson. Maybe we're all just a bunch of dumb, stinky idiots, and we're all doomed. The end.
Americans are like the little kid where if you tell them to clean their room, they're like, I was gonna clean my room. And then they don't want to clean their room anymore. Which is to say that that kid is me. And I am American. And I don't know how to change that about myself. I don't even think I can. Good video! Good video! I feel like I understand a lot of things now. Especially the fact that apparently Irish people were involved in the military. I know, surprising, but I didn't know this. I didn't know. They only talk about Italian people, to be fair. And to be fair, Capone was small fry in the grand scheme of things. Meanwhile, Lucky Luciano created the commission in New York, which became the first true pilot of organized... Something tells me you guys know a lot about this. Is this like one of those male interests like Rome? Like Rome? You guys are also listening to mafia documentaries that are 12 hours long? I mean, I might watch them with you. I have more interest in the mafia than I do in Rome, personally. People are stupid. They believe anything they want to be true or fear to be true. Yeah. That's why I fear that my tits are so fucking fat. I'm just scared that maybe my tits are way bigger than like anybody else's on the planet, and every day it scares me.
So many supermarkets in the UK have one of these, but have you ever actually looked at one of them? Like, have you noticed that most of them
UK is not a real place.
A clock tower on a supermarket, if you think about it, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, this isn't a town square, it's a car
Tear
park.
it down!
It's clearly not serving any functional purpose because it's not even set right. So why do so many supermarkets built in the 80s and 90s have one of these? And is it just a coincidence that that's also the time the supermarkets basically took over our country? Our story starts in 1964.
This is the most British man I have ever seen in my life. The most British, the most stereotypically British man I have ever seen on the planet.
If I ask you to imagine what a supermarket should look like, you'll find it pretty easy because you've seen hundreds of them. But when they were designing Britain's first edge-of-town supermarket in Nottinghamshire...
It's so interesting seeing really old footage like this. Like, look at the way everyone's dressing. Everyone was so much better dressed.
It was a blank slate. And although people didn't know what a supermarket should look like, they decided pretty quickly that it shouldn't look like this. These early supermarkets were based on designs from America. And for a while, the novelty of the store that sells everything was enough to make people look past the ugly exterior.
They claim that everything here is cheaper, but how much cheaper? And how frightened are Caerphilly's small shopkeepers?
I don't see anybody in town going down to the hypermarket in the middle of the week for a cauliflower or a couple of pound of potatoes.
These accents, I
Unfortunately,
can't.
that's exactly what was starting to happen. Once the
The
stores were
kangaroo and
built,
welcome.
people seemed to flock to them, but
Now
as the
those outfits
1970s rolled,
cost an arm and a leg.
Well, also, the outfits were just better made from what I can tell. Most of the stuff that we have is like... What's the word? Dude, there's a word for like how it's made, but most of it is not handmade, okay? For some reason, I'm having like a fucking brain lapse or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But yeah, fast fashion. And it's everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. And in order to get something quality, you have to pay a fucking arm and a leg. It's actually insane.
around, it was getting harder and harder to get them built in the first place. People didn't like the way they looked. The architecture critic Lance Wright said that the retail
Sweatshop workers really need to step up with the quality. Or maybe, and we should consider, I know this is controversial. Maybe. I'm gonna say something really, I'm sorry, you might answer me after this. Maybe we should make clothes in a different way? I'm sorry, I'll just end stream. I know there's no coming back from that.
had chosen the image of the concentration camp, and local councils were starting to become uncooperative as well. Clearly a new design was going to be needed, but what could it be?
Stop it, Lucy! That's the last slavery we have!
Over in Essex, a new town was being built, and the council wanted to put a supermarket right next to the town square. But they had a very strict design guide, which required all buildings to have specific Essex characteristics. And so Asda came up with an idea. 15 miles away, in a town called Coggeshall, there is a 14th century barn and
A what?
a Victorian clock tower.
That's
I haven't found
huge!
solid proof that this is where
That's
they
a
got
huge
the idea,
barn!
but these two buildings are suspiciously similar to their final design. This was the first supermarket that looked like this, and now the clock tower makes sense. It's next to a town square, so it fits in perfectly. It still wasn't working when I went there, but still, Asda was onto something here. Turns out if you want to design a supermarket
Asda.
that fits into a local area, you've got to go out, do your research, find some local references, build something that really fits. So is that what they did?
Why is he making that face at me?
A design that was tailor-made for one community became a template that was pasted across the nation. The original
Soulless!
reason for the clock tower was forgotten,
No
and the design
soul!
became known as the Essex Barnes style. By 1979, Asda was using the South Wooden Ferris store to try and cast off the image of the ugly supermarket. If you're of the opinion that a superstore means an eyesore, we hope the evidence from South Wooden Ferris will make you think twice.
Oh
By
yeah,
the
it's not an
mid-90s,
eyesore,
supermarkets
just
had
put a
taken over
watchtower
retail.
on top of
This
it. Now
design
it's
served its
fixed,
purpose,
it's
so it's done
saved,
away
let's
with. In favor
go!
of designs that are easier and cheaper to mass produce. More recent supermarkets occasionally have clock towers, but that's just because it's kind of an expected thing now. Supermarkets sometimes have clock towers.
Wow.
Sometimes, if you're really
Expected,
lucky,
tear it down!
they might even show the correct time. And it might not rain.
Tear it down!
That'll do.
Skullknox, welcome. US was like that for a little bit with bell towers. Well, I have no knowledge of that, so that means it's not a thing. That means it never happened. If I don't know it, it's impossible. So what the fuck is this? It says leaked Nintendo employee safety video. And I looked at the comments and I think it literally is a leaked like Nintendo safety video. And it's fucking 16 minutes long. Is it really worth watching? I guess we'll find out.
Wario here, and I want to talk to you about safety. Well, I think it's boring, so let's skip it and play some games. After all, Wario Incorporated is the biggest producer of video games in the whole wide world. Actually, Wario, Nintendo is the worldwide leader in video games.
Wait, is this an indoctrination? Nintendo is #1. We're the best. Accept us as your lord and video game savior.
As well as company go-kart races and giant bubble console displays. Good, then shut up and let's get back to the games. Take it easy, Wario. Nintendo is committed to fun, but we're also committed to keeping all of our employees safe, whether they work in the garage, the Tesla coil factory, or the garage
What
again.
is happening? This can't be
We place high
real.
importance on safety measures. Every year, people are involved in workplace accidents involving highly intricate workplace equipment, such as our Nintendo brand step ladders. Safety is every employee's responsibility, and good safety habits are a high priority at Nintendo because they help sell more Nintendo GameCubes. Nintendo has written a New York Times bestseller book entitled NMI's Safety and Health Handbook. Through this supplemental video, management and employees work together to combine proper safety protocol with increasingly aggressive Nintendo GameCube-based sales tactics.
Look at that Karen.
This is done with
A
your
Karen
safety
before we
in
had the
mind.
concept of Karen. Look her in the eyes and tell me she was not like fucking the beta form or the alpha, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That is Alpha Karen.
Nintendo GameCube-based sales tactics. This is done with your safety in mind. Key features of this tape include lengthy, monotonous safety meetings designed to drill this information into you.
Yeah, the
new
proto
updates to the
Karen.
James Bond defensive driving seminars, and what to do if someone at one of these meetings dies of boredom. Our goal is to not report every single safety accident, which is only possible with
Well, in case you can't tell that I'm autistic because I couldn't read the sarcasm in the YouTube comments talking about this video,
your support and cooperation in keeping your mouth shut. We're here to teach you how to load and unload cars, stock shelves, and even advanced skills like unplugging wall outlets so that you can work safely and save up enough money to eventually afford a $274,000 luxury mansion. At Nintendo, copyright trolling is our highest core value, but employee well-being is certainly up there as well. And in comparison
Certainly
to
up
dollars,
there.
safety and health is a much greater priority because Nintendo is a Japanese company and makes all of their money in yen. Let's look at the 3 major areas of safety. Emergency
Huge L.
procedures, practicing accident and injury prevention, and employee responsibilities. Don't call your deadbeat uncle over the store phone to tell him to go fuck himself, no matter how tempting it may be. Instead, use the store phone for emergency instructions, such as during a fire or a particularly intense butter.
you didn't work at Nintendo. Now I'm the uncle that works at Nintendo. Fuck you! You have to do it from the Nintendo fucking headquarters because otherwise it won't sting as hard.
Butterfly catching contest. The evacuation route is exactly the same as Walmart number 3471's, regardless of your store's layout. So memorize this plan carefully. If your store's copy of this map doesn't have the route and fire extinguisher information listed on it, make sure to check that you've purchased your company's employee safety downloadable content. If you or someone else needs help, contact store security or the newest store employee to— wait, is that an Xbox? I'm not sure who allowed that accursed device to show up on the same shelves as us, but we at Nintendo are not afraid to skin employees alive for their insolence. If an emergency affects you or your station, dial the easy-to-remember 20-digit emergency line. Then just clearly speak your 32-digit encryption
Xbox
key out
is
loud
the
to alert
worst
the proper
console.
authorities. Have your
I said
91-page
it.
emergency cleanup packet ready for the operator to assist you. And call the Nintendo Doctor Healthline for all medical emergencies. Or else. Whether it's a sprained ankle or tuberculosis, all medical emergencies require a drug screening to help quell the incredible wave of cheap, abundant, and euphoric fentanyl missing Nintendo's stamp of approval that's flooding the markets.
Question.
Yes, Wario?
Say that I fall from the sky, and I land on my head, like I often do. Except this time, I gained the forbidden knowledge that there's a particular group of people controlling all the world's banks and governments from behind the scenes.
Only concussions resulting in fictional information gain would be considered an
He's been playing South Park Stick of Truth again.
incident. I know what you're thinking, but don't do it. To protect yourself, others, and mostly yourself when opening boxes, use only the Nintendo-provided safety knife. Cut-resistant Kevlar gloves are optional, but using them just once will permanently mark your employee record with the title of Big Pussy. Work slowly and carefully, and always make sure to— I almost got you there, didn't I?
Yeah,
When
you
replacing
did.
dull blades, place the old blades in the break room orange juice bottle, and place the bottle back in the company fridge. Do not tell Brenda about the orange juice's secret. Safety glasses must be worn when working near Star Wars Rebel Strike Rogue Squadron 3, because it is the sharpest video game. Wearing safety glasses near Sonic Adventure 2 is also advised, so you don't cut yourself on the edge. Foot protection is required for retail representatives. This is also known as shoes. You already know what these are, and if you plan to go working at Walmart barefoot, then I'm not sure why they hired you in the first place. Brown, black, or brown and black shoes must not be worn, because Nintendo is a fun company, and those colors only remind people of the horrors of slavery. Nintendo-grade chemicals must be properly stored properly in the Nintendo GameCubes at all times, and Gugon is the best snack to feed it to keep it quiet. The health and safety
What did he
handbook is
mean
really
by
boring
that?
and unnecessary,
What did he mean
so we
by
spruced it up with some
that?
wacky Nintendo characters to make
Hydration.
hazardous materials fun. Microsoft's dual-screen handheld console lists the following specs.
Oh my god, holy based.
The Nintendo Microsoft Intel Safety and Health Handbook outlines joint safety measures between the companies, such as respect for copyright laws. The safety committee's
That
purpose
is the
to
most
find and
important.
eliminate
That's
unsa-
page
God
1.
Damn, Jamie, I didn't know you were packing all that.
Damn!
The safety committee is made up of anyone with enough free time on
Does
their
he know
hands
they
and
took
enough
a
lack
creep
of
shot of him like
self-esteem
that
to
and put
join
that
the
in their
safety
video?
committee.
Hey, check this out. Look at me. I'm a 42-year-old woman with more cats than friends.
That's hilarious, Wario, you greasy cannoli. The committee's main job is to solve the daily crossword puzzle, but thanks to the lack of standout candidates, they've been stuck on the same puzzle since 1993. Friendly reminder, if you find yourself rocking out too hard, there's some Xanax in the company first aid stations. Nintendo has also partnered with FedEx, the absolute worst shipping company known to man, to destroy thousands of trees by sending employees regular safety bulletins that easily could have just existed online. The following section is for employees who wear jewelry, hair, or clothing in the workplace. Be aware that while it's your right to express your religious beliefs on company property, Nintendo is not liable for any accidents caused by adorning these items while operating the Box Smasher 9000. While adjusting the Nintendo GameCube display, be careful of the attached controllers. They are notorious kleptomaniacs. Ergonomics is a word made up by companies for them to sell you office furniture at 3 times retail price. But Nintendo is also a company, and it's one that knows how stressful the relationship—
Wait. This is gonna sound really stupid. I'm aware. This diagram just makes it look like he has the flesh part of his arm and his leg and just lacks the bone. So like he's just like boneless in his left arm and in his right leg. But like all the flesh is still there.
between your body, your tasks, and your
Which is a
surroundings
terrifying
when you're missing
concept.
the bones in an arm and a leg. That's not where that calendar goes, Jamie. Workplace stress injuries can occur from putting shitty
Are you
games next to Nintendo
discriminating?
ones.
I don't think this person exists. I don't think that could happen. Noob Senpai, welcome.
Or from attempting to read ancient sacred texts from prehistoric times. You will be fired and forced to relocate if you steal a ladder, steal a computer, or steal away a life of living out of your car from the company for any reason. Any job or activity can cause repetitive motion injuries or cumulative trauma disorders over time.
Me?
Yes, even prostitution. Now you know what happened to your mother. Personal factors which may increase injury include being lazy, being overweight,
Oh,
and being lazy
shit.
and overweight.
They're just like me, for real!
Shut up, Wario. There are ways to reduce chances of acquiring weapons of mass sexual destruction. Actually lifting something heavier than a game controller for once in your life. Filling your car with junk so
That's
you can't
too
go
heavy.
on constant fast food runs is also helpful. Nationally, back injuries are the most common and financially devastating forms of workers' compensation claims filed to the U.S. Department of Labor. 4 out of 5 workers with back pain are green.
They're aliens. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, dun, 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 do-da-do-da-dee-da.
And the government is still looking for those millions of lost workdays. Back injuries can be caused by poor ergonomics.
Oh yeah, the reason back injuries are so insane is because the human spine is fucking horrible. Like, it was designed like shit. Like, they need to deliver a patch for the human spine because it's garbo
Poor
tier.
posture, overexertion, improper lifting, or even slips and falls. How do you prevent back injuries? We have no goddamn idea. The best way to prevent electrical injury is to not use any electricity in the first place.
Yes.
But if you have to, here are some safety guidelines to
The
prevent
best
injury.
way to not cut or get
Unplug
cut
and then
is to
dismantle
not pick
all
up a sharp
electronic devices in the
object.
store to prevent electronic shock. Flipping off power switches is the quickest and most convenient way to do this. Steal all highly valuable copies of Super Smash Bros. Melee and replace them with the bonus disc of
Beast!
Mario Kart Double Dash, which doesn't even let you play Double Dash. I'm serious, that's true, you can look that up.
What?
Activate the GameCube signal if you need help repairing or assembling a display console. And
The
no matter
GameCube
what,
symbol.
never, wait, zoom in. Is that Counter-Strike for the Xbox? Wow, Microsoft really
How can
does
you
have the best
tell?
games. Leave monitor repairs to the professionals, particularly ones like this who weld their hands to the inside of xylophones. When moving ladders to maximize safety, warn other employees by shouting, "Way away from here this ladder will be." When climbing a ladder, wear shoes so fellow employees don't fetishize you at work.
Wait,
Avoid
but guys, they're
wearing sexy toe
wearing
teasers, ankle showers, or nut crushers to work
They're-
for your safety.
they're wearing the black shoes. But I thought they had to wear
Always
like
make sure the ladder is in fact a
red.
ladder before you. Hey! Cry out way away before moving it.
way away.
Fuck, whatever. I'm not paid enough to care if she dies. Never ever stick your fat, delicious ass out into the shopping aisles. The temptation to spank it is far too great for both the male and female employees. And don't you dare use the top step of the ladder. If you do, we will come to your house and we will get you. Locking your doors will not help, and no security system will save you. We approach in the dead of night, ready to snuff out your miserable existence.
It's happened to me
Good
several
safety habits
times.
start at home, just like poor shopping decisions start at toy.
Chatty, never, ever pirate a Nintendo game. I tried to download a Nintendo Switch game one time, and literally they broke into my house immediately and fired 5 warning shots into the wall right behind my head, and I never did it again. It was really, really scary.
Toys R Us. Car safety is also a must. Learn how to use whatever this doohickey is. Learn how to put gas in your car. And learn that no amount of car safety equipment like first aid kits and fire extinguishers are ever going to save your brains from being splattered all over the pavement in a bad rollover. Did you know that even with seatbelts, people die all the time in car crashes?
So true.
I just thought that was
What a
interesting.
fun fact.
While driving, remember to smile, because Nintendo was able to reduce employee suicides by a whopping 3% this year. While cellular phones are this year's passing fad, any employee found using Samsung-branded equipment will be found at their job site with 2 self-inflicted bullet wounds to the back of the head. Being a representative of Nintendo means that you'll most likely drive an Isuzu Rodeo, and we are sorry about that. While this car may be a mere starter car not fit for golden gods, here are some tips to transporting Nintendo-branded merchandise safely. Avoid criminals.
Okay.
And cover all Nintendo-marked merchandise, even though your jacket makes you an obvious robbery target. 11:50 p.m.
Very
is the best
true.
time to shop at Mattress King. Please steal only 3 GameCube Game Boy players at a time, and return them to your car with your stupidly big key in your hand to shiv potential counter thieves. If you suddenly find yourself shopping at Target for any reason, turn around and walk away, and do not ask an employee to assist you. They work at Target and won't do jack shit. What's your responsibility as an employee?
The only thing that Target employees are doing while you're in Target is trying to make sure you're not stealing. Bro, Target is the supermarket Nintendo. The Nintendo of supermarkets.
Besides not being a... Know the procedures. Which
Oh.
ones? Well, that's your job, not mine. It's important to follow the fitness for work policy. Nintendo wants to remain an environment free from the effects of drugs and alcohol. The use or possession of illegal
But
drugs or
there's
alcohol
Xanax
while
on
at work
site,
or on
you
premises
said.
is prohibited. This policy prohibits the use of prescription or non-prescription medication, which is likely to impair an employee's work performance or create a safety hazard.
Which Xanax does not fall
This
under.
policy also provides for substance testing if there's a reasonable belief that someone is under the influence of illegal drugs, alcohol, prescription, or non-prescription medication. All employees must consent to testing as a condition of employment.
They're
Were you
gonna
expecting a
fucking
joke there?
entrap
Well,
you
drug
for the
abuse is no
Xanax.
joke, you dumb bitch. For employees who can't work, we recommend the Return to Work program so that you can hurry up and get back to work.
The government is lying to you about 9/11.
Everyone's job at Nintendo is important, no matter how small it may be.
My lawyer has advised me to retract my previous statement.
He's our lawyer too, Wario. And don't forget the safety manual says that every
What?
Nintendo employee must
No,
be physically
not
fit
now.
enough to do a triple jump while saying wahoo-hoo. The designated Nintendo Tattler will inform 911 to arrest you immediately should you fail at this task. As a thank you to our team, here's a montage of all of our favorite employees. Safety at Nintendo starts with you, Jamie. No one else here is competent enough to do anything right.
That's how it feels at jobs.
Contact your supervisor if you have any questions or concerns.
Question.
Shut the fuck up, Wario.
That's totally fair.
You know what? I have been rude. What did you have to tell us, Wario?
Do we really know what's in our vaccines?
Thank you, Wario, for helping tell the Nintendo family to play it safe. And a special thank you to everyone named Jamie who helped in the making of this video. This has been a production of Nintendo of America Incorporated. Stay tuned for our next tape on how to cook soup. Yes, delicious home-style Nintendo soup. That's our two products, video games and soup. Most people don't know.
Don't do that. They'll demonetize you. Because when I made the joke about the vaccines and autism, I got my friend Bao, my good friend Bao, demonetized. And it was all my fault. All my fault. I'm sorry, Bao. I'll never make a vaccine joke again. But I mean, do we really know? Do we really? Do we really know?
Life is like a race, except you're the only one running it. But at
Yeah.
the same time, you can see everyone else running theirs. I'm in my 20s now, and I think it's probably the most awkward time in anyone's life. On one hand, there's people around my age who were steadily working their careers, climbing the corporate ladder, going out on the weekends, and living
My
the typical
personal
adult
hell.
life. And on the other, there's still a lot of us trying to figure it out. But I think out of all the good things you can have in life, the one thing most of us want more than anything is someone to do it with. When I look around, I see a lot of my friends in long-term relationships, and some of them have even gotten married. But I also have a lot of friends who are my age and have never even been in a relationship. Dating as a Gen
All
Z
this
adult
editing
is
is
an
so
interesting
funny to me.
experience because dating comes with a lot of expectations. What do guys expect out of girls? What do girls expect from a guy?
Wait, what did that message say? Hold on. I have to read this, you
What do
guys. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, I need you to listen to this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy would you be to get this message from me? Okay. Good morning, King! Heart. Just here to tell you how amazing you are and that if I were with anyone else, I'd punch them in the face and go find you and then kiss your cheek 500 times and hug you and cuddle with you until my heart melts. I woke up thinking about you, I went to bed thinking about you, and now I can't stop thinking about you. My heart feels physically numb right now thinking about you and us cuddling with our arms wrapped around each other and never ever letting go. I miss you so much right now. I want to look into your eyes and think about what type of person I want to be and how lucky I am to know you. Don't ever think bad of yourself because you're an amazing person, and I feel a rush of feelings whenever our eyes meet.
Guys expect out of girls? What do
Pretty good
girls
text.
expect from a guy? What does one partner expect from the other? There's this constant push and pull
Good morning,
between what
Lucy.
people want
Just
from
here
each
to
other.
tell you how amazing you are and that if I were with anyone else I would punch them in the face and then kiss your cheek 500 times and hug you and cuddle with you until my heart melts.
0, you stole my text.
Romantically, and social media is only making it worse. It's why I think a lot of younger people think that romance is dead. Because social media is full of unrealistic expectations that I don't think 90% of young adults can meet.
Whoa.
Yo, bro, what's your type? Well, I like short girls, but I go to the gym, so I also want her to be fit too. And I kind of like when girls have a bit of an attitude, but I think confidence is hot, so I want her to have a lot of pride as well. Okay, so you said short, fit, has an attitude, and a strong sense of pride. Yeah, bro, I don't think you want a girlfriend.
You want an
I think
anime
you want
girl.
Vegeta. Now, I'm not blaming social media for being the reason people are single, but I think sometimes people forget that social media is just a caricature of reality.
Can
and
you
that most
blame
things
him?
shouldn't be taken so seriously. Every other day on Twitter, I see people getting worked up over hypothetical situations that would never happen in reality, but they build their entire perspective
Like
on
what?
relationships around it. Babe, would you love me if I was a worm? What? If I got magically transformed into a worm?
The answer is yes. Stop making fun of women. The answer is yes. It's that simple. The answer is yes.
Was still your girlfriend, would you still love me? I mean,
What?
how could you be my girlfriend if you were a worm? Wow. Just wow. What kind of
Yeah.
question is this? Why would you even be a worm? This is why men deserve less. How am I supposed to date a worm? The truth is that there are a lot of really cool people out there that are looking for someone compatible to spend their time with. But a lot of the time, we only get to see the negatives. And sometimes this causes us to shut ourselves down before we even give someone else the chance to possibly say yes. Believe it or not, I've had girls that were interested in me tell me they were afraid to approach me because they didn't think they were my type. But the truth is, I don't have a type. Superficial things like someone's height, weight, income, or other things are temporary. And if you
Wait, types aren't real? Types aren't real?
base your relationship with someone on those things, then the relationship will also be temporary. I'm not saying you should treat relationships like the stock market and invest in someone you don't find attractive, hoping they glow up into a supermodel. I just think that a lot of times when you talk to people, most of them don't care that much about looks. Sure, there are shallow people out there, but not everybody is gonna like you. And it's not always about your looks.
The things this guy is saying is literally unthinkable to people on Twitter. Literally unthinkable. Literally both sides. When you go on Twitter, women and men are like, men only like sexy women. Women only like guys who are like super hot and they have like fucking 6'9" and fucking 20-inch dicks. Like, wait, I haven't heard this opinion expressed in so long.
It's like your boy coming to you like, it's no use trying to date, bro. Girls don't like me because I'm not 6 feet. No, bro, don't say that. It's not because you're not 6 feet. It's because you have no swag.
What?
Dating is about finding someone who aligns with your values,
He says
priorities,
swag.
and lifestyle.
He is not in his
It won't
20s.
always be a
He's in his
perfect fit,
30s.
But you shouldn't have to put yourself in an uncomfortable position to meet someone else's expectations. A big fear when it comes to dating is the idea of being chosen versus being an option. When you're searching for someone to love, you want them to love you back equally. No one
Yeah.
likes to think that their partner settled for them. You want to feel like you were their first option, not the backup plan. And this doesn't mean that you should only be looking for people who've never been in a relationship. That's unrealistic. It means that
Shit. He's telling me my standards are unrealistic. Oh no.
everyone deserves to feel like their partner chose them, that they're with you because they want to be, not because things didn't work out with the people they wanted more, or that they're only with you because they couldn't get anybody else. I think in an era of social media, it's easy to compare yourself against other people.
This is why
especially
I'll
when
never
you're
be in a
aware that your
relationship.
partner
I haven't even thought about these brain worms, and he's fucking giving them to me.
was with people before you. Like if the girl you like says she likes tall guys but you're 5'7", or all your boyfriend's exes are blonde and you have dark hair, these
What are
things
you
can make you
doing,
feel
man?
insecure and that your partner settled for you because you aren't their type. So when it comes to dating, it's really important that your partner knows that you chose them and not that they just happened to be your best option at the time. I think for a lot of young people,
It's so fucking over for me. Are you kidding? So now I'm gonna ask Chatty. Hey Chatty, when you were younger, who are your waifus? Who are your favorite anime girl characters? And if they don't have fucking white hair, long white hair and red eyes, I'm gonna be like, does Chatty really love me? Does Chatty really like me? Misty? She's nothing like me. It's
the
over.
scariest part of dating is dealing with commitment. A lot of people have different ways they become attached to others. Some people are more readily able to commit to
Shrek
someone,
hot.
and others are a bit more avoidant. Me personally, I'm very quick to accept people into my life, and there are a lot of people I consider my friends. Pretty much, if you've ever just listened to me talk,
Look at this guy. He probably had like a healthy upbringing and parents who loved him and taught him how to connect with other people in a healthy way. Ha 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 ha! LOL! What a
for more than 20 minutes, then I'll probably think of you as a friend. And this translates to my relationships because every time I meet a girl who's like, hey, you're kind of cute, we should hang out more. And I'm like, oh, bet, here's my number. But in my head, I'm already thinking about what we're gonna name our kids.
Is this
my
real?
friends say I get attached too quickly, and they're honestly probably right. I've dealt with girls who are more avoidant in the past, and it's not for the weak. But sometimes people have a fear of commitment for different reasons, and that can make dating hard. And depending on what it is, sometimes you have to let that stuff go. Everyone has that one friend that's still holding on to baggage from a long time ago. Yo, bro, I met this girl today and I think she'd be perfect for you. Nah, bro, I'm never dating again. All girls are the same. Bro, are you good? What's wrong? Yeah, bro, it's just, I still have some trauma I'm dealing with from my last relationship. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. What happened? I got cheated on. Oh, that's tough, bro. How'd you find out? I went to lunch early that day and I caught her in the act. No way. Yeah. She shared her chocolate milk with another guy at the lunch table.
Ew.
Wait, what? She told me I was the only guy she would share her true moo with.
Oh, I thought that was an innuendo.
Wait, bro, how long ago was this? You remember Shanice? Bro, from 7th grade? Yes, bro. We were gonna spend the rest of our lives together. Bro, that was middle school. You gotta let that go. But I remember it like it was yesterday. Bro, we were 12. I can understand not wanting to rush into a committed relationship with someone and wanting to take things slow. However, one thing that's super common with Gen Z is being caught in a situationship. A situationship
such a crazy
basically
concept
when
to
you're doing
me.
all the things that people in a relationship would do without being in a relationship. Sometimes
Hydrate.
people aren't on the same page when
That's just called using each other.
it comes to commitment, and that's fine. One person may want to take the relationship to the next level while the other person needs some time to know if they're ready. However, you shouldn't still be acting like you're in a relationship when you're not, because that's when things get confusing. Yo, so how's things going with you and that one girl? Oh man, they're great. We talk every day. We hang out all the time. I met her mom. She's been staying over. We're even sleeping in the same bed. Oh, so like, is she your girlfriend now? Whoa. Why are you throwing that G word out, man? We're just friends. Well, we've been friends for years and we never sleep in the same bed.
You want to
one
change
time.
that?
Well, I mean, it's different because she's a girl, you know? But we're just chilling. Okay, so if you're just friends, then you wouldn't be mad if I tried to ask her out. I will chokeslam you through the floor, bro. Exactly, bro. You clearly like her, so just wife her up. Is he talking about that one girl he's been kicking it with, but he's too scared to put a label on it? Yes, bro. Bro, if you don't man up and tell that girl you need her same day delivery like Amazon Prime, all right, bro, chill. I get not wanting to put a label on things, but what's important is that you're both on the same page. One time, I went to get lunch with a female friend of mine, and everything was going great, until the waitress brought the check. Apparently, since she saw a guy and a girl getting food together, she immediately assumed that we were on a date. And since it's a date, I'm supposed to pay for both of our meals. And
How'd
that was
that go?
crazy, because before bringing the check, waiters usually ask if your meals are separate. But no, she was just like, this is a date, you're a man, so you pay. My friend offered to cover her half, but at that point, I had already accepted my fate. So yeah, make sure it's clear where you stand with someone before you end up spending $53 on a burger and fries.
53?
One unique thing about dating for Gen Z though, is that we have a lot of options when it comes to looking for love. Obviously, there's traditional dating where you meet someone either on your own or through your friends, and you start talking and then eventually start dating. But there's also online dating, where you create your profile, get a match, and hope that the stranger you meet is normal enough to not make you want to block them on everything the second the date is over. And there's also e-dating, which is cringe. Traditional dating may seem less common among Gen Z with how prevalent dating apps are, but a lot of relationships still start this way, especially if you're still in school where you're regularly surrounded by people around your age. There are a lot of obstacles that get in the way of traditional dating though, like having enough free time to go out and meet people, or having enough personal connections to find an available partner, or even just having enough money to keep going on dates.
So basically, in order to get a relationship, you have to go outside, which you can see. You can see the problem.
But the biggest hurdle by far is dealing with rejection. No is one of the hardest words to hear. Building up the courage to approach someone is hard enough as it is, and for it to not go your way really stings. People walk around every day with countless insecurities living in the back of their head, so no matter who you are, being rejected can make you feel like you're just not good enough. And that's fair. You've probably heard it before. The worst she can say is no. And no, It's not the worst thing she can say. You could walk up to a girl and ask her out, and she could look at you and say, ew.
I've heard of this happening. I've heard of this happening. And that's insane. What a fucking bitch. What a fucking bitch. But in my opinion, maybe the worst thing she could say is no. Because a good woman can still say no, right? But then you'll realize if she says ew, you never should have liked that whore in the first place. So maybe it is the worst thing. At least if she has like a crazy reaction, you can realize you didn't want to be with someone like that in the first place.
I would never go out with an ugly, stinky, bald-headed, swagless nerd like you. My standards aren't that low. And honestly, at that point, you're cooked. But that's only the worst case scenario. Most of the time, rejection usually goes like this. Hey, I saw you across the way there and I thought you were really pretty. I was wondering if you'd like to go out sometime? Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you. But I'm not really looking for anything at the moment. Sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. Have a nice day. No matter how nice it is, rejection always hurts. And for most guys at least, I don't even think it's a fear of rejection, but
if that happened to me, I'd be like, I'm just gonna go home and I'm never speaking to women again because she didn't like my drip and she thought that my balls were sticking out a little bit too far and she didn't like that about me. She doesn't really like saggy balls. It must be my saggy balls. She could see the saggy balls through my pants and I can't go back out there, man. I can't go back out there. I'm a fucking pussy, man. I feel bad for guys too who are like out there in the dating world because with the expectation that it's usually the guy who asks the girl out, oh, I could never make it as a guy. I could never fucking make it. Like, holy shit. I fucking feel rejected when somebody breathes in a certain way and then I'm like, are you mad at me? Like, did I do something? Like, I couldn't do it.
Of being seen as a creep. And I completely understand. The thought of making a woman uncomfortable is almost unbearable. But you can't let your fear of rejection turn into a fear of approaching people in general. All right, bro, I'm finally gonna do it.
This is
Today
the hardest
I'm gonna tell
part.
that girl how I really feel. Bet, bro, you're in there. I'm telling you, just play it cool. You're right, bro. I just gotta stay confident. Excuse me. Do you know what time the library closes? I need to return this book, but I'm trying to figure out if I should do it before or after my next class. Could you help me out here? He had to go to the bathroom. Despite the challenges, I still think dating traditionally is one of the best ways to meet someone. Your friends can help put you on with people they think will match your personality, and it gives you a more organic connection with someone that can grow over time. Online dating isn't really a new thing anymore, and honestly, it isn't as bad as it used to be. I have a few friends who met their partners on dating apps and they're honestly in very happy, healthy relationships with people they met online.
Nope.
I think the biggest issue with online dating though,
those people are fake. Those people are psyops. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, okay? Those are just corpo shills for big E dating.
Is that since you're dealing with strangers, it can be very superficial. The only thing they
Benji
really
does
have
not
to go
look
off
like
of
that.
initially is your appearance and whatever you put on your profile. So sometimes it's hard to really find someone who's a good match for you. It also goes against the number
Don't
one
put
rule of the
Makima there.
internet, which
Holy
is to never
shit.
link up with random people you met online. But it does lead to one of my favorite games, which is figuring out how long it takes for your date to finally reveal themselves as a weirdo. Wow, this was such a nice date. I really enjoyed talking to you. Of course. You're such an interesting
Me on the
person.
first
Can I
string.
ask you something before we leave? Sure, what's up? Can I take a picture of your feet? Your toes look very nice, and I would love to set them as the wallpaper on my phone. What? I thought you said you like
knock
girls with a
yourself
good
out.
soul. No. I said I like girls with good souls. Here, just hold still for a second. I think my Uber's here. And then there's e-dating. Oh boy. The digital age has changed the way we do a lot of things, including dating. And e-dating is something that's really common among
Guy
people
saw
who
you
don't go
gifted a
outside
tier
a
1
lot.
sub to catch
And
a
don't
Jack
get me
Knight.
wrong, I've been playing video.
God fucking damn it, you're gonna stun lock it because the TTS is fucked and for some reason whenever you get the random sub, a single random sub, it does the TTS. So thank you very much, you have forcefully paused the
Not Winslow
fucking
gifted a tier 1
stream!
sub to Kama Slayer 0.
It's over for us. It's over for us. Syncby, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Guys, thank you for the gift sub. Not Winslow, DJ and Keto. Thank you for the gift subs. I appreciate it. No more. No more. No more.
Video games since I was 4. And over the years, I've met a lot of really cool people online.
I'm going to fucking kill you. Oh, I'm anonymous. You're anonymous because you're
Anonymous
scared.
user gifted
You're
a tier
anonymous
1
because
sub
you
to Rainbow
fucking know that you would receive retribution. You fucking pussy. Do it with your whole chest next time.
Even consider them good friends. I think just about everyone in Gen Z has at least one friend that they've never actually met in person. E-dating isn't too different from your typical long-distance relationship, but it's definitely a relatively new experience. One day, you and your homie are queuing Swift plays and an e-girl with a soft voice gets on your team. Now you see him duo queuing on his alt and silver at 4 a.m. I know I make fun of e-dating a lot, but genuinely, if you're happy with someone you met in a Discord server,
Chatty, I think gaming together is really cute. Ayo, Andy, thank you for the 5 gift subs. I appreciate it. Blah, blah. I just, you know, I'm just thinking about maybe I've got a Chatty next to me being a sweat, playing whatever male-coded game they have. Fucking Marvel Rivals or League of Legends or some type of fighting game. There being a sweat over there. Smelling like absolute shit because neither of us have showered. And I'm just playing Stardew Valley. This is the dream for me.
then that's great. But I've also seen a lot of e-relationships end badly with leaked DMs full of messages I wish I never saw. So if you're gonna e-date, make sure she's only for you and not for the hashtag general. No matter what kind of situation you find yourself in, it's important.
You're for the streets. You're for the fucking hashtag general.
That you always remember to be yourself. You don't need to be someone else to attract a certain type of person. And if you feel the need to act like someone you're not to impress someone, then they're probably not worth it.
Exactly.
There are people out there who will like you for you. You don't have to pretend. So just stick to being yourself. We all know that one guy that starts acting different when girls come around. Bro, there's no way he's beating Goku. Nobody can beat Goku. Dude, I'm telling you, with Gear 5, Luffy solos the verse. Bro, he's not touching Goku. You're tweaking. Bro, the Toon Force, I'm telling you, the Toon Force.
Bro, sub to Kenny_B_gaming.
Not this again. Sparngles, thank you for the gift sub. Rail me out, thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate it, thank you. Keep getting stun locked. Is this a real thing? Like, I'm trying to remember. It's not like I've never interacted with girls. Like when I was in high school, I would spend time with obviously the drama and the speech and debate classes whenever like those classes were happening. But I'm trying to remember if I saw this behavior. Maybe I was too autistic to pick up on it.
You don't know about not touching Goku. Hey guys. Oh, hey, what's up? What you guys doing? Oh, we were just having an
Is he gonna do a deep
like,
voice?
This guy thinks Luffy can be. I mean, that was really more so him. Like, I'm not really into all that anime stuff for real. It's like kind of immature for me. Are you guys talking about anime? I love anime. Have you guys seen Hunter x Hunter? Oh, Hunter x Hunter? Yeah, that's my show. Like, Killable, like, that's my favorite character. Bro, weren't you just calling it mid like last week? Bro, chill. You always bringing up old stuff. Like, I'm a different man now. Right. Anyway, I was coming over to ask if you still needed your shift covered tomorrow. My schedule opened up and I wanted some extra hours. Oh yeah, it's perfect. I really needed to be off tomorrow. So if you can, that'd be great. Yeah, bro. Now you can come to the gym. Like, I be going every day. In fact, probably about to go now, low key. Probably hit the bench. Yeah, so I'll text you when I pick your shift up, okay? Yeah, thank you. I mean, you can text me too, though. To sum it up,
you can text me too, though.
And a lot of times, finding the person who's right for you takes a lot of trial and error. Some people get lucky and are able to find the right person for them at a young age. And for others, it takes a while.
Wait,
what matters is
I just realized what that is. That's a guy being a male pick-me. I figured it out. That's like if Chatty said they hate Code Geass and then I said, oh yeah, Code Geass, that's a mid anime. I don't though, cause like when I was a kid, like Lelouch, every night, like it's like Schlick every night to Lelouch. It was a crazy time for me. I cannot deny my history.
That you remember to prioritize yourself just as much as you value the relationship. You shouldn't lose yourself just to be with someone else, so make sure you take time to focus on you as well. Don't become one of those people who spends every second of their life with their significant other, and invest in a support system outside of your partner too. When it comes to relationships, it can be easy to turn a good thing into a bad thing. And the key to making sure things don't—
I get grossed out when I see couples IRL. Is this normal? Like I look at them and I'm just like, fucking gross. Like, go do that somewhere else. Like, you're so Gross.
Go south is finding balance. Don't hang on to something bad for too long, but also don't be quick to let a good thing go.
It's called
just
being
because
jealous.
You hit a bump
Fuck
in the
you.
road. Like all things, a healthy relationship takes patience, compromise, and maturity. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter.
I am
and
not
thanks for
jealous. I am not jealous, okay? It's gross. It's gross when people are being all over each other in public, okay? Fuck you for saying that I'm gross. Okay, this is the greatest moment in fighting game history. I have no clue what this is going to be. Blake, welcome.
For the people in the American fighting game community that were there to witness it, it was the most significant day of our lives. For DAIGO, it was Sunday. That is Patrick Miller's description of the subject.
This is so fucking hard. This is talking about a fighting game, and this quote feels like some shit you would see talking about the fucking founding of the nation or some shit.
Of today's video. Arguably the most iconic moment in competitive gaming history, we're about to explore the legendary first meeting between Japan's DAIGO Umehara and America's Justin Wong, two of the finest Street Fighter players of all time. And this first meeting between two gods would change competitive video games forever. This is EVO Moment 37.
So this is like, okay, so to put this in melee terms, is this like when Mango versus Armada? Is this like one of those?
EVO Moment 37 took place on August 1st, 2004 at the Evolution Fighting Tournament. The following year, a DVD highlighting the best moments from the event was released, and the clip in question was arbitrarily named number 37, even though people at the time knew it probably should have been number 1. The moment took place during a specific match between two very, very good players. Hailing from Japan,
Many such cases.
DAIGO Umehara was the face of fighting games in his home country. Known simply as the Beast,
Why does he
DAIGO
look
made
like
a name
he's
for himself after winning
like in
the
a
Street Fighter
band?
national title in Japan at the age of 15, and then defeating North America's best player, Alex Valle, in Street Fighter Alpha 3 at the age of 17. Known for his meticulous approach to fighting games, DAIGO is equal parts cold calculation and red-hot aggression, forcing his opponents into difficult situations and methodically breaking them down piece by piece. His opponent, Justin Wong, was considered one of America's finest 2D fighting.
I can't. This is literally that meme. This is literally that meme. This is the fucking Wojak meme. I can't.
Game players, and was sort of the antithesis to DAIGO's aggressive playstyle. Known for his conservative turtle style and his mastery of that fundamental neutral game tool known as footsies, Wong played between the bars, weaving in and out of his opponent's range until an opening presented itself, and lashing out in those moments like a snapping turtle bursting out of its shell. Both players were able to find success with their respective styles, and many wondered who would win in a head-to-head matchup.
Welcome.
Footage of their exploits existed on DVDs and in online message boards, but fans and competitors alike could only theorize about what a match between these two would actually look like. Was DAIGO, Japan's 2D fighting game god, simply untouchable by mere mortals? Or was Justin Wong's defense-oriented playstyle the future of Street Fighter? Well, one fateful afternoon in Pomona, California,
well, I guess we found the answer. Our best defense is a good offense.
That question would be answered, and the gods would finally meet in person. The game took place in the finals of the losers bracket for Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. The winner of this set would go on to the grand finals to face off against Kenji K.O. Obata. But the stakes for this match were so much higher than the tournament itself. This was the first time that Jaewong and DAIGO would face off in tournament. It was North America versus Japan, East versus West.
Oh, he's from North America?
DAIGO was playing as Ken, and Jaewong was Chun-Li. Going into game 1, it seemed like the two were an equal match for one another. And right off the bat, the clash of styles between these two is easy to see. DAIGO is trying his best to break through Justin's wall of pokes to land a hit, while Wong is biding his time, staying just out of range and stuffing DAIGO every time
she's
he
so
tries to
hot. How do you
advance.
fucking
Sometimes,
focus?
Justin just sits there, menacing, throwing out moves into the void.
Oh, my legs,
DAIGO,
my thighs.
a player known for his unflinching composure, is visibly frustrated by Justin's turtle style. And the
Gunnar
commentators
Debuff, I
take
could never
notice.
play these games.
Rare footage of DAIGO actually
Zakari, welcome.
At this point, both players have won one round. Going into round 3, Jaewong lands 2 meaty combos, building a nice lead for himself and giving him some breathing room to sit back and play defensively. Realistically, given how much health he has, he could just sit back and let the timer run out. So now, the ball is in DAIGO's court, and if he wants something to happen, he has to make it happen. After being walled out by jabs and low kicks for a good 10 seconds, DAIGO finally finds an opening, landing a string of attacks and backing Jaewong into the corner. After a few mix-ups and a successful throw,
not only was it the Wojak meme, but now we also have the fucking all women are thoughts winning over the all women are kings. Holy.
Jaewong manages to jump out and reset the neutral game, once again releasing all pressure. As DAIGO tries to chase him down, the two trade low kicks, and DAIGO's health bar is reduced, literally as low as it can go. At this point, any hit, even one that is blocked, will knock DAIGO out, since in third strike, players can be knocked out by chip damage. In this situation, there are only 2 ways to survive an attack. 1, completely dodge it, or 2, perform what is known as a parry, a sort of manual block that has an incredibly tight frame window, but negates all damage. So DAIGO decides to play the mental game. He goads Jaewong, tempts the American into doing something foolish. He knows that Chun-Li has enough meter to perform her super, and banks everything on baiting Jaewong into using it. As it turns out, that gamble pays off. For a moment, both players stare each other down, like 2 samurai, swords drawn, sizing each other up. A moment of pure serenity. In his book, The Will to Keep Winning, DAIGO reflects on this moment, saying, quote, "I remember feeling the pressure as I watched my life gauge dwindle, thinking this might be the end. When he had me in that corner, I entered into a zen-like focus, prepared to do whatever it took. In an instant, all hell broke loose."
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for pausing it at this important moment. I just have to say, the fucking design of this game is so good. I love how all the movements look. It looks amazing. Oh my god. Wait. How in the fuck?
Unbelievable. DAIGO with a full parry. Combo with the combo and win. Evolution 2004.
Jaewong inputs Chun-Li's super, and everyone in the audience knows that it's over. Given the spacing, and DAIGO being on the ground, it was impossible for him to get out of the way in time. And with the flurry of 15 consecutive kicks about to be unleashed, even if he had the wherewithal to block, he would die from chip damage. It's a lose-lose situation, because no matter what, DAIGO is going to get hit, and he has no HP to spare. But let me remind you, there's a reason why DAIGO Umehara is known as the Beast. As Chun-Li surges forward, instead of holding back to block, DAIGO does the unthinkable. He taps forward, executing a near frame-perfect input to parry the first kick and negate all damage. Then he does the same for the second kick, and the third, and the fourth. It's difficult to describe how hard this is to do in a vacuum, when you're sitting at home practicing it in training mode.
That's fair.
Well, no shit, it's 16 and it's really fast. 3, 4, 5, 6, and it has 7, to be 8, frame perfect.
No, 7. Wait, what? Was it 7?
But to do it on stage, at EVO, in front of a home crowd rooting against you, with 0 HP to spare, and having to input the first parry before Chun-Li's super animation has even started, it defies belief. But the best was yet to come. Because after successfully countering the first 14 hits of Chun-Li's super, DAIGO shows us his true genius. He jumps.
He is not a gooner.
As soon as he goes airborne, you can feel the dam about to break. Those parries weren't just an attempt to prolong the game, but a calculated method.
What if he's actually the max gooner, and he knows how to time the parry perfectly because he knows the exact shot of Chun-Li's ass he should be able to see, and actually he won by max gooning?
To turn Wong's offense back against him. You see, with every successful parry, DAIGO is building meter. And to cap off his string of defensive brilliance, he jumps to parry Chun-Li's last kick in the air.
Oh my god.
Positioning himself perfectly to punish her end lag with a kick of his own, which links into a low kick, then an uppercut, and then DAIGO spends his newly built meter to unleash a super right back in Jaewong's face. There is simply no more beautiful way
I feel like
that
a
this
computer
sequence
couldn't
could
have done
ended.
this.
Say what you will about this clip, that it wasn't optimal, or the inputs aren't that hard, or that Jaewong
I
sold
can literally do
because
this in
he
my
could have just
sleeve.
run out the clock. Those criticisms just aren't really valid. Regardless of what armchair fighting game analysts might have to say, the fact is, EVO Moment 37 changed gaming as we know it, and transcended just video games. As Cole Travis says, EVO Moment 37 was not just a fighting game match. It was a singular moment that showcased that gaming can have the same significance as any sport out there. It was Jordan hitting the buzzer beater in Game 6. It was Ali
I don't know
knocking
any
out
of these
George
references.
Foreman.
I'm
It
more
was Babe Ruth
esports
calling
pilled.
his shot and hitting it out of the park. To be in front of a packed room of screaming Street Fighter fans, battling for your tournament life and losers bracket, and to have the composure
the Babe Ruth
to
one?
perform one
Nope.
of the most daring sequences ever captured on film is simply breathtaking. Although DAIGO would win this set and then go on to lose in grand finals, that's not why people remember EVO 2004. People remember Moment 37, the instant where North America got to witness the beast with their own eyes. Moment
You can't
37
even
would
be mad.
go on to become one of the most viewed gaming clips of all time.
You can't even be mad when you fucking lose like that. There's
Propelling DAIGO to superstardom in Japan and around the world, and is often cited as the most important esports moment of all time. Over
No
the years,
coping, no,
the
I
moment
got
has been
unlucky.
referenced and celebrated
Pure skill
time and time
difference.
again. In Third Strike Online, there's an achievement for performing the DAIGO parry. DAIGO and Jaewong recreated the moment 10 years later during a Third Strike exhibition match.
What?
And even to this day, people can't stop trying to land it against Jaewong himself, who often streams
this
himself
poor guy,
playing Third
this poor
Strike
guy,
Online.
this poor guy. I feel
You
so
think he
bad.
Daigo? You think he Daigo? You ain't Daigo. Oh, he Daigo! He Daigo! He Daigo! No!
Wait, he really Daigo'd you.
Bro, that's not scripted. That's not scripted, bro. He Daigo'd me.
For the next 15 years, DAIGO and Jaewong would have one of the greatest rivalries in esports, facing off numerous times in tons of different titles. But the one that we always come back to is that first meeting. And you'd think for the role he played in such an iconic moment, that DAIGO would look fondly on Moment 37. But a true competitor to
What?
his core, DAIGO looks at Moment 37 as just another stepping stone on his way to victory. Nothing special, just the best available option executed to perfection.
This is the difference between us, Chatty. This is the difference between us fucking scrubs, and the people who become gods at their one thing.
I'm sorry. I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
EVO Moment 37.
For you, the day
DAIGO
Grace
EVO 2004
was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was
Sunday.
This video is made possible thanks to our wonderful patrons. Massive
That's really cool though. Oh my god. POV, you've just enjoyed your reminder of Moment 37. This is my first time learning! Guys, it's my first time knowing about the moment!
I've seen that
My
video
first
before, but didn't
time!
know the context.
Live it vicariously
Understanding
through
the
me!
tactics, those parries are absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? Like 10 fucking frames, and then there's 16 hits, and then the last one is in a different location? That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. But again, I'm very impressed by the appearance of Street Fighter. Like, the animation is so fucking stylistic and cool looking. It very much holds up to this day. Speaking of that, maybe I should do this first, yeah. Chatty, look! Chatty, look! It says kiss the cook! I'm not fucking asking. Hold on, I gotta get better at scrolling. This fucking picture's huge. I'm not fucking asking. Kiss the cook. This is so cute. Oh my god. I love how horrifying he is with just like the demonite head like shoved on top. That's great. Chatty, you're so beautiful. Chatty, look into your beautiful closed eyes. So fucking gorgeous. Aw. Yeah, he kind of does look like a Pac-Man ghost, but that just makes him more based. Lucy Senzala Pyre. Wait, what? Oh no, oh no! No!
Okay, no, this is a really bad idea, but I'm already here. So
This is traumatizing.
here we fucking go. Rawr. Extra nozzles pounces on you. Ooh, you
Is this just a clip from my fucking stream?
Notice your bulge from across the floor. Nozzles your necky wacky till damer till
Damn
the
those
heat.
tits.
Unzips your baggy ass pants, oh baby, you so musky. Take me
Ugh.
home, pet me and make me yours, and don't forget to stuff me. See me like my little baby tail off all your bulgy wulgy kisses and lickies your neck. I hope chatty likey snuzzles and wuzzles.
Wait, should I ask for a collab? Because why do we kind of blend in here? Hey, yo! Senzala! Last post, 2022. What happened, guys?
Your chest, I be getting thirsty. Hey, I got a little itch. You think you can help me? Only 7 inches long. Ooh, please adopt me. Eyes on your butt as I lick my lips.
Ooh, punish me, please.
Gotta hit 'em with this furry shit.
They don't see it coming. Oh. Oh. Yeah, it makes me angry sometimes. When people interrupt me with it! Out of nowhere! It's fucking disrespectful. And I'll stick to that. I don't care if anyone tells me I'm wrong. I'm gonna watch this video first since we just watched a video that was kind of esports related. This one is called The Complete Kenny Timeline. It includes the Stick of Truth, which means it must be a based video.
Oh, hell, Kenny. The infamous, the unassuming, and the downright immortal. This little hooded guy has been put through all sorts of horrific killings.
He must have lore then.
But don't
Behind
just
his
put him
power
down as
level.
an expendable joke, waiting around to meet yet again another gruesome end. He has come a huge way since his disposable beginnings.
You know, with how much of a pussy I am and how, like, fucking woman my brain is, there is a non-zero chance that watching South Park would be sad to me. Not because of the racist humor, not because of the sexist humor, not because of the homophobic humor, not because of any of the ist humors you can put in there, but because I would just keep getting sad because it's like, why do they keep doing that to Kenny? He doesn't deserve it.
South Park's plentiful seasons, he's grown into one of the most fleshed out characters on the show. I'm Lydia from Screen
Hydration?
Portal, and this is the evolution of Kenny McCormick. Kenny's origins. Voiced mainly by South Park creator Matt Stone, with a few exceptions, Kenny was actually inspired by a friend of Trey Parker, the other creator of South Park, who was also named Kenny.
Snark, thank you for the 5 months,
Real
Bubba.
life Kenny was one of the poorest kids in the neighborhood. He adorned an orange
Yeah, he's got
Parker,
fucking
which
crack
also
addict
made it
parents.
hard to understand what he was saying.
His life sucks!
He would also skip school from time
This would make
to
me
time,
so sad.
floating a joke amongst his friends that he had died, only for him to rejoin the group and attend school a few days later. Kenny begins. Kenny's been part of South Park's core 4 since day 1, but in the earlier seasons, Kenny mostly took a backseat from all the happenings of the show, and pretty much existed just to be killed off. And so he built up a pretty extensive but gruesome death count from seasons 1 to 5. And
This reminds me of the psychopaths on 4chan back when I was a kid using that website. And there was like a My Little Pony board. It's probably still there. But anyway, there's a My Little Pony board. And they would post about fluffle ponies. And they would just talk about how much they hate them and want to kill them. And there would just be threads full of them killing fluffle ponies in the art. And I feel like one of those people was making South Park the character Kenny. And he was their fluffle pony before fluffle ponies even existed.
just like clockwork, his deaths would prompt the well-known catchphrase,
"Oh my god, they killed Kenny!"
Though he died in almost every single season of the first 5 seasons, the boys never seem to remember his death come the next
Why?
one. This trend
He's
has
cursed
only
to
broken
suffer.
a couple of times. One time was when Carmen acknowledged all of Kenny's deaths in the episode Carmen Land.
What, Kenny? He dies all the time!
But for the most part, Kenny's deaths
So you
went
do know,
unknown
and you're
and
gaslighters.
unacknowledged. His major first storyline didn't come until the South Park movie, South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut.
We watched
He
that!
plays a key role
Yay!
interacting with Satan after entering Hell's Gate by dying. In South Park Town, all hell breaks loose when the apocalypse begins, but when Kenny helps Satan realize that his relationship with Saddam was toxic, he grants our hoodlum one wish. Instead of wishing to be alive again, he wishes for everything to go back to the way it was before the chaos. And after this good deed is granted...
Oh my god, this just made me remember that there's South Park yaoi out there, where they're like drawn as like anime boys, and it's like Cartman and then like Kyle fucking each other or something.
He ascends into heaven. But of course, he doesn't stay dead for very long. In the movie, we also see Kenny's face and hear his muffled voice for the first time.
There's a whole yaoi episode. I'm gonna watch that one and only that one.
Very quickly, if you're enjoying the video, then please take a second.
Do you think that this creator is a South Park fan?
Only a small portion of you who watch my videos are actually subscribed.
Any
And
chance?
when you click that sexy red button, it helps the channel grow.
Oh.
Plus, it's completely free. Kenny dies again. While Kenny died only to be brought back in the very next episode,
Why is it always
he was
him?
eventually killed off for an entire season. Basically the entirety of season 6. In season 5 episode 13, Kenny got his first real storyline when he died of a terminal
Is he a Make-A-Wish kid?
This decision came about because Matt Stone and Trey Parker tired of the trope of killing Kenny off every episode. They felt it was repetitive and made him a prop rather than a character.
Yeah!
And to be honest, they became a bit bored of him completely. Though largely dead in season 6, Kenny was not forgotten. In one episode, the boys tried to build a ladder to heaven to get a ticket stub from Kenny. And later on, his spirit possesses Cartman after he mixes Kenny's ashes with milk to make a shake.
Yeah, not bad. Did you know you can do that with gamer subs code Lucy 21% off, I think for the rest of this week, because there's literally grandma's ashes on gamer subs and then you can mix it with milk if you want to. I mean, I don't know why you would do that because you must hate yourself if you do that, but you know that you can do it because code Lucy 21% off?
While neither Stone or Parker was sure they'll bring Kenny back for good, they always entertain the idea. Therefore, Kenny returns. Our big guy finally makes his return at the end of season 6's episode 17.
Oh, that's Santa's
where almost
extra
completely out of nowhere, he arrives and joins the group.
Dude, where have you been?
Kenny's absence from the show obviously gave him a new thirst for life, as his tendency to die decreased dramatically. In fact, he's hardly died since. The jokes now are used very sparingly, which makes sense considering the reason why he was killed off for a season in the first place.
They finally stopped doing it.
10, 18, 19, 20, and 23. He only died 3 times in season 13, 5 times
Kenny
in 14,
has hair?
and only once in 15, 16, 21, and 22. Way to go, Kenny. But as his tendency to die died down, his screen time only went up. He began to have more substantial storylines, and we learned far.
But wait, can he still not talk? As in, you still can't understand anything he's saying and you just have to infer it based on how other people respond to him? This is the most sad character ever.
More about him and his family. Such examples include the season 12 episode Major Boobage, where Kenny had hallucinations after cheesing. Season 14's episode Poor and Stupid, where he tried to kill Cartman for making a mockery of NASCAR.
Chatty, while I was looking up things about like resting heart rate, shh, don't say anything. But while I was looking up things about resting heart rate, I saw that apparently people who do the NASCAR racing, they have to deal with their heart being 170, like while they're doing the race car shit. Isn't that crazy? How are they not getting heart attacks and dying?
Friday trilogy, where he plays the part of Princess Kenny. These are only a portion of Kenny-heavy episodes, though no storyline has proved as significant as the one that involved his alter ego, Mysterion.
What?
I'm the symbol this town needs.
He can speak? Dark Kenny says something intelligible.
Mysterion rises. Mysterion first appeared in Season 13's The Coon, where Kenny plays a Batman-type character, much to the annoyance of Cartman, who tries to do the same but unsuccessfully.
No! Dude, I'm seriously! You're being a copycat! I'll sue you!
While it's revealed to the town of South Park that Kenny is Mysterion through his face reveal, we the audience didn't actually notice him due to the sameness of all the other characters' faces.
Yeah, no shit.
Which was a very nice touch.
I wouldn't fucking notice even after he took the mask off.
In the Coon and
Dude, I'd just be like, Wait, why is everyone gasping?
trilogy that takes place in Season 14, we finally find out that Kenny is Mysterion in an exchange with his friends while they're dressed up and playing superheroes.
Dude, Kenny, chill out.
Throughout the saga, Kenny constantly tries to convince his friends that he does actually have the superpower ability of immortality. It turns out that his powers originated from when his parents visited a Cthulhu-worshipping death cult before he was born. Because of their involvement, every time he dies, his mom gives birth to him all over again. And by the next day, he's back to his current age in his bed. What's weird is that this reasoning was first hinted.
Holy fucking that poor mother's vagina. Fuck it. I'd be fucking high on meth every single day too if that was my destiny. I have to give birth every time my son dies, and it happens pretty much every single day? Give me the math! Give me the math!
In the Season 4 episode, Cartman joins Nambla, where Kenny dies and his mom gives birth to him all over again.
God, this must be the 50th time this has happened.
52nd.
So the trend of him dying and literally being reborn by his mum has already been somewhat established. When discussing his powers, Kenny expresses his frustration that no one remembers him dying and that it actually does hurt.
Nobody even remembers me dying.
But even so, he uses his ability to be reborn as a means in the Coon and Friends trilogy, committing suicide several times knowing that he'll wake up again. Even still, he makes it clear that he views his immortality as a curse. And while he doesn't get a complete
Mom, if you don't give me what I want right now, if you don't buy me a PS5, I am going to kill myself and force you to give birth to me again tonight. That's right. Put the PS5 in the bag, Mom.
Answer as to why he's that way, we get more of a reasoning about Kenny dying 14 seasons after the show's premiere and an abundance of deaths later. This is arguably the ultimate character development for Kenny. What was once just a funny plot device is now given a whole background and a storyline.
At this point, I bet she doesn't feel it. The vagina and the ass have simply become one. They are just the same thing at this point.
Kenny continues. To this day, Kenny is very much still a part of the South Park franchise and continually evolves. Up until this point, he's died 98 times in the series.
When is the
and has gone
100th?
through a significant amount of character growth. He started off as a plot device that got overused and dumped from the show itself to be brought back as a fully fledged, fleshed out character. One who got the chance to expand upon his significant amount of deaths, one of his most defining characteristics, and was given a reason as to why he died.
Good for fucking Kenny. Although, why is it that people keep telling me the only good seasons of South Park are 1 and 2, when Kenny is still dying every episode? I feel like there's an anti-Kenny agenda all around me, for those with the eyes to see. Okay, we'll watch this one now. How Pachirisu won the Pokemon World Championships. I heard about this, but did not watch it.
2014 was shaping up to be just like any other year of competitive Pokemon. The circuit had crowned various national champions, and Worlds was quickly approaching. After a surprisingly ordinary year, no one really knew how unprecedented the events that were yet to unfold would be. For competitive Pokemon, 2014 was a year unlike any other. I'm referring, of course, to the World Championship Finals. South Korea's legendary Seijin Park would be facing off against one of America's newest threats, Jody Azzarelli.
Okay.
In this matchup,
without spoiling anything, tell me, did this result have anything to do with RNG?
Seijin was considered the favorite. His resume scored in second place at the World Championships in 2011 in the Seniors Division, which is a younger division made up of 11 to 15-year-olds, and back-to-back top 8s at both the 2012 and 2013 World Championships. To add to this already impressive resume, he dominated in his own country, winning 3 South Korean nationals in 2011, 2013, and 2014 in the Masters Division, which is the division for 15 and up. While Seijin has always been admired as a winner, Seijin's team building stands almost in a league of its own. His teams have routinely had massive impacts on every format he played in. At his national tournament in 2011, Seijin won the Masters Division when he should have been playing in the Seniors Division. Unfortunately for the Masters he faced off against, Korea didn't have a Seniors Division at the time, so Seijin settled for the only trophy available to him. Jody, on the other hand, was the underdog. He was newer to VGC, but people in the scene knew he shouldn't be underestimated.
Oh no, this poor guy.
He had impressive performances throughout 2014, and was a part of a group of players who had been having a number of consistent results throughout the format. Additionally, both players...
Guys, what do? I read the YouTube title of the video and I saw he doesn't have Pachirisu on his team. What do I do? How do I stop this feeling of guilt?
Players had unusual, creative Pokemon choices.
I know
on
what
their
happens
teams,
to him,
which
but
meant
does
as a
bro
spectator,
know?
It wasn't going to be a matchup we were especially used to seeing. The final start and the games are close, but Seijin ends up winning 2-0. At this point, we still have no idea that this Worlds result are going to be unlike anything we've seen before or after. The weekend draws to a close, we say goodbye to our friends, and everyone begins their journeys home. The internet, on the other hand, explodes. The reaction to Seijin's, and more specifically Pachirisu's win, is unprecedented. Something about Pachirisu, maybe it's cuteness, maybe it's smallness, maybe it's squirrelness, has resonated with people all over the world, and they love it. To many people, Pachirisu represented a narrative that people love to associate with Pokemon, that you should always try and win with your favorite Pokemon. Pachirisu doesn't look very flashy. It's a little electric squirrel, not unlike Pikachu, and when you see it facing down against gigantic Dragon-type Pokemon,
Cuteness
it looks
wins.
a little out of place. I think for many people, Pachirisu felt like the ultimate underdog. Like, it wasn't even supposed to have qualified for the tournament, let alone made it to the finals. And they loved it. There was incredible fan art at first, but it didn't stop there. South Korea soon held parades for Seijin and Pachirisu's win. Specifically, 8 parades held over 4 days with exclusive merchandise featuring Pachirisu, special VGC and TCG tournaments, and
showing
special meet and greets with Mr. Junichi Matsuda from Game Freak, and of course, Seijin Park himself. However, the event may have been too successful for its own good. The first parade was so popular that there were serious overcrowding concerns, and the majority of the rest of the parades had to be called off. For those of you not super familiar with...
This means that objectively, Pachirisu is the best Pokemon Pikachu clone that they release every generation. Or it would have been if they'd never made Mimikyu. Poor Pachirisu. The crown only lasted for such a short while. It really is sad.
VGC, allow me to be the first to assure you that this celebration isn't typical. To my knowledge, no other world champion has had any form of parade or exclusive merchandise given out, so this experience was incredibly special to witness and be a part of the community for. Especially given how close Seijin had been to victory in the past 3 years. That narrative I mentioned earlier about how you should win with your favorite...
Yeah, strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon, that is only the selfish perception of people. Truly skilled trainers should try to win with their favorites.
And that Pachirisu was this lackluster Pokemon that Seijin only used because he loved it, isn't entirely true. The truth of the matter is that Pachirisu was an incredibly intelligent and specific choice for one particular tournament, and the wisdom of this decision resulted in Seijin's victory. I want to tell you about the secrets behind Pachirisu's success. Now, bear with me here, because we have to set the stage a bit. The year is 2014. VGC players are faced with 2 major changes in their competitive scene. The first being the introduction of a new generation on a new system, Generation 6's Pokemon X and Y. It also means that the current VGC rule set is condensed to what is known as the Regional Dex. A Regional Dex format means only the Pokemon available prior to unlocking the National Dex in a game are legal. In other words, it's the most restricted type of format, with the least amount of Pokemon available. Regional Dexes tend to be interesting for a number of reasons. With less Pokemon
Maybe
available,
they should
the
do it
overall
more
power
then.
level tends to be lower than formats with more options. However, the number of good defensive tools also tends to be lower. X and Y introduced a really interesting challenge in the form of Mega Evolution. Mega Evolution allowed certain Pokemon to reach incredible power levels of offensive potency, but a substantial balancing issue made it clear that the defense...
Doesn't that kind of make it more boring? No, because if it's the entire dex, then you're going to see the same meta comps over and over. When it's restricted to a region, at least based on my inference, you will be forced to use different types of strategies because some Pokemon won't be available to you. Now, as a player, this might suck as a player, but as a viewer, I like it.
Tools available couldn't really keep up. The biggest offender of such was Mega Kangaskhan. With incredible base stats, great defensive typing, a broken ability, and a phenomenal offensive move pool, Kangaskhan dominated much of the format. It had so many tools. Fake Out offered priority in flinch, Power Up Punch gave +2 attack and dealt damage, Sucker Punch was a strong priority move, and worst of all, Return was a no drawback strong stab move. As a fun fact, in order to balance Kangaskhan in Generation 7, it no longer learned Power Up Punch, its ability Parental Bond was significantly weakened, and the base power for Sucker Punch was dropped.
Wait. Does this delete the Marowak myth? Is this them coming out and like just telling us, hey, the Marowak theory, it's not real. This is Kangaskhan? I know! Wasn't there literally a theory that the thing in the pouch, that Marowak was one of them? Am I crazy? That's Cuborn. Wait. Isn't Cuborn and Marowak just evolutions of each other? Or do I have the names wrong? There was back then. Yeah. Damn. It's still a theory anyway? Well then, Pokemon Nintendo headquarters thinks you're stupid, but I guess that's fine. It's okay if Nintendo thinks you're stupid. I wouldn't value their opinion anyway.
Significantly weakened, and the base power for Sucker Punch was dropped as well. Most VGC formats tend to skew special, but 2014 had a diverse pool of physical attackers that commanded respect. One of which, Talonflame, used its powerful priority Brave Bird, often coupled with Choice Band or Life Orb, to put immense pressure on teams. Talonflame would also go on to receive a nerf in later games. Garchomp Return is a rather large threat due to its high base stats, ability to outspeed Kangaskhan, and good synergy with Tyranitar, who was another strong physical attacker at the time. One of the ways people tried to slow down these powerful physical threats was Intimidate, but unfortunately many of the Intimidate users just weren't strong enough. Nowadays,
I fucking hated Intimidate while playing the game, not because it would nerf me so that I couldn't play or win, but because it would be annoying. They had like a fucking animation for it, and it'd have to be like, oh, your Pokemon is intimidated, and it would take up so much damn time. It was so annoying. Oh, you're a pretty princess? Welcome, pretty princess.
We have powerful Pokemon like Landorus T and Incineroar that offer Intimidate support, but due to 2014's limited selection of Pokemon, the best Intimidate users were non-Mega Salamence, Scrafty, and Mawile, to name a few. So, 2014 is a year with many physical attackers exerting tons of pressure, and one of the best counters to physical attackers in Intimidate is struggling. Kangaskhan has dominated much of the format, winning US and Japan Nationals, which are two of the last tournaments before Worlds. But in South Korea, Seijin wins Nationals with a Rain team, featuring Mega Mawile as its Mega. I'm not entirely sure if it's because of Seijin's victory in Korea or just due to everyone wanting to counter Kangaskhan, but the metagame begins to shift. In fact, it shifts pretty violently. And it shifts towards Mega Mawile being the choice of Mega on most teams. In fact, 3rd through 7th place at the World Championships this year would all utilize
That's a pretty sick Mega
and
evolution,
the highest placing Kangaskhan player finishes at 14th with Germany's Marcus Stanter. Quick note, this wasn't the first time Mega Mawile had been used or had become popular, but the shift right before the World Championships felt much more significant in terms of usage than anything the format had seen thus far. So, why is all this relevant when talking about Pachirisu? Well, Seijin is building for the World Championships, and he notices something interesting: Mega Gyarados. It has quite a few things going for it. It's a good Intimidate user, which, as we established, is hard to come by. It can set up with Dragon Dance. It has much better physical bulk than regular Gyarados, which, when combined with Intimidate, makes it rather bulky on the physical side. It also has a number of positive matchups in the metagame. Talonflame, like we mentioned, does not enjoy facing down Mega Gyarados because it gets knocked out by unboosted Waterfall. Garchomp doesn't match up well into Mega Gyarados because it can't do much
isn't
damage
all
and has to
bad.
choose between Rock Slide,
It
which is
forces
really
the
bad if
player
Gyarados
to
Mega
think a
evolves,
little
or
bit.
Earthquake, which is really bad if Gyarados doesn't Mega Evolve. Gyarados' Earthquake also hits Mega Mawile for super effective damage, and, speaking of Earthquake, one of the most popular Pokemon in this format is Rotom, which
I
Mega
do not
Gyarados
like
can hit
Mega
with ground moves
Gyarados
thanks
though,
to
it's
Mold Breaker
ugly.
ignoring Levitate.
Waste of a Mega.
Not to mention
Waste of a
Aegislash, another
Mega.
popular Pokemon, really hates Mega Gyarados for a number of reasons. I could go on about specific Pokemon, but I think you get the gist. There's also one additional factor here that shouldn't be understated: surprise factor. Gyarados was actually relatively popular earlier in the format, but Ludicolo and Safety Goggles Zapdos' rise made Gyarados' life really difficult, especially since it doesn't get a good flying move for Pokemon like Ludicolo or Amoonguss. So, it's right before Worlds, and Gyarados is really not a common Mega Evolution, like, at all. And Seijin recognizes that not only is Gyarados a good choice for the current metagame, but it also is likely
The best Mega Evolution I thought you would never ask. The best Mega Evolution is Shiny Gengar. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
to catch his opponents off guard, as Gyarados has all but disappeared from the metagame. Pokemon is a game about making choices, and the less information you have, the harder it is to make the right choices. Okay, Wolf, but this video was supposed to be about Pachirisu, and all you're doing is talking about Gyarados. Well, I think we're finally ready. We've established that Gyarados was a good choice for the World Championships given what was popular.
We're about to
We
get
have
the
not established that Seijin
Pachirisu
is going to
pill.
support it.
And you're
Seijin
all gonna
identifies
take
that
it.
Gothitelle is a good support Pokemon here. He chooses to run Tickle, Thunder Wave, and Psyshock on it. Thunder Wave provides speed control, and although it looks a little surprising, given that Gothitelle learns Trick Room, this is Generation 6 Thunder Wave, before it was nerfed. That means it never misses and quarters rather than halves a Pokemon's speed. as Gyarados and the rest of Seijen's team didn't end up benefiting from Trick Room, Thunder Wave was a better choice.
He says he's gonna talk about Pachirisu, then he starts talking about Gothitelle.
Synergizes with Psyshock in addition to Mega Gyarados, and Shadow Tag stops opponents from leaving the field after being weakened, with the added benefit of preventing Intimidate and Fake Out cycling, which would commonly be used to weaken Gyarados. Due to Gothitelle's bulk relative to the rest of the format, it was good at sticking around. And remember how Mega Mawile was picking up in popularity again? Well, Gothitelle outsped most of them and could use Tickle to lower their attack before they even moved. So we have Gothitelle for stat support and Gyarados for offense, but it wasn't enough to allow Gyarados to do everything it had to do. The next step many players take when they have a Pokemon that wants to set up is to add a redirector, and Seijen knows how valuable redirection is, maybe more than anyone entering Worlds in 2014. He brought Follow Me Magmar to the World Championships just the year before. Generally, if you wanted redirection in 2014, there was one standard go-to Pokemon, Amoonguss. Amoonguss offered Spore
There's
and
no
Rage
way,
support
this
and
is the
often even held
meanest
Rocky
team
Helmet item to match up positively
ever.
into Kangaskhan. When Gyarados was popular earlier in the format, Amoonguss was a premium partner. However, there was a major issue with Amoonguss. Rage Powder is a move that redirects all opponents' moves to the user, unless the opponent is immune to powder moves, and two major threats to Gyarados happen to be immune to powder moves, Ludicolo and Safety Goggle Zapdos. Therefore, Seijen turned to other ways of redirection that wouldn't struggle versus those two. In other words, he needed to use Follow Me instead of Rage Powder, as Follow Me can't be ignored by Grass types or Safety Goggles users. And this is where, finally,
Proof once again that Among Us is the worst game that ever dropped in our lifetime. And Pachirisu is going to lead us back to the fucking Holy Land.
Pachirisu comes into play. There were 4 legal Pokemon with Follow Me in 2014. Smeargle, Furret, Lucario, and Pachirisu. Seijen chooses Pachirisu, likely due to it being the bulkiest of the 4, having the best defensive typing, and having strong support options as well. Zapdos matches up terribly into Pachirisu, and although Ludicolo doesn't look too bad on paper against the Electric Squirrel, we haven't considered Pachirisu's other moves yet. Seijen gives his Pachi Nuzzle and Super Fang, 2 devastating support moves. Nuzzle allows Pachirisu to spread paralysis around without being taunt, another benefit over Amoonguss.
I love that
Paralysis
move.
is especially helpful for Gyarados, as it allows Gyarados to outspeed faster Pokemon like Kangaskhan without a Dragon Dance, and also synergizes nicely with Waterfall's Flinch chance for even higher probability to stop an opponent from attacking. Super Fang ensures Pachirisu has solid presence on the field.
Mal,
You
thank
can't
you
ignore
for
it, as
the
delving into its
18
partner
months.
risks
Congrats on your
partner
second
Pokemon protecting,
child.
while Pachirisu either spreads paralysis or takes half of your health. Pachirisu also has the same benefit of Gyarados we mentioned earlier, the element of surprise. I'm sure some of Seijen's opponents didn't even realize that Pachirisu learned Follow Me, and in many cases, Seijen's Pachirisu may have been the first Pachirisu they had ever played against.
Skill issue. Skill issue. You fucking underestimated him. You underestimated him.
In short, Pachirisu was the perfect partner for Mega Gyarados. Volt Absorb and Follow Me protected against electric attacks. Follow Me allowed for easier Dragon Dances. Nuzzle and Super Fang.
Can you imagine though? Can you imagine when you see the Pachirisu come out and you're basically having like Light Yagami and L monologues in your head and you're like, what? What's his move here? What does he think he's doing? That's a Pachirisu. It's not even meta. What moves does it even learn? Nuzzle? Okay, I can counter that. Quick attack? No, that wouldn't do enough damage. What else? He learns... Follow Me.
Disrupted and weakened opposing teams, and even Gyarados' Intimidate increased Pachi's survivability. Seijen rounds out his team with Focus Sash Garchomp, Life Orb Talonflame, and Choice Scarf Guardboard.
Hydration.
These offensive and mostly frailer Pokemon were able to reap the same benefits as Gyarados, though to a lesser extent, from either or both of Gothitelle and Pachirisu. Even though Pachi was originally selected to protect Gyarados, Seijen did an exceptional job selecting other Pokemon that could use Pachirisu's support well. So, it isn't like Pachirisu was bad or something Seijen only chose because he liked it. Instead, it was a very niche Pokemon that filled a specific role he was looking for, due to the unique
look
traits it
at
provided.
it! It's so
Pachirisu
damn
alone
cute!
wasn't enough to net Seijen a win. He had to make a number of really intelligent decisions going into the tournament, and his ability to find additional Pokemon that also benefited from the existing support he had made his team even more dangerous. I think it's worth noting that Pachirisu was, in many ways, a product of its time. It hasn't had any relevant success since Seijen's 2014 victory. This is in large part due to the 2014 metagame being quite limited in the Pokemon allowed. This is an example of an interesting phenomenon where how strong a Pokemon is depends largely on the other Pokemon around it. Pachirisu was one of the strongest Pokemon at Worlds 2014, but failed to
Bring back regional decks completely and only for Kalos so that Pachirisu can reign supreme. I want the entire meta changed for this one Pokemon. I don't care if people don't like it.
get tournament results even a year later. I don't say this to put down Pachirisu, but to emphasize that knowing how to use a Pokemon sometimes isn't as important as knowing when to use a Pokemon. In conclusion, Pachirisu was a phenomenal choice to support other intelligent choices Seijen made going into Worlds 2014. Even though many viewed Pachirisu as underpowered compared to the Pokemon around it, it was actually due to the overall decreased power level of the format that allowed it to really thrive and keep up with the Pokemon it faced. Seijen's identification of the strengths of his support Pokemon in Gothitelle and Pachirisu, and how to use Pokemon that benefited from the specific support he already had, are a testament to
Look at that art. That art's so cute. Ow, 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 ow.
His incredible team building skills.
And he is the leader because he uses follow me. Get it?
If you enjoy
Oh my
hearing about
god,
Sage's
it's not
victory,
even
I
LARP, it's
recommend you check out his
real.
Twitter and Twitch. He creates great content and consistently uses other underexplored Pokemon. He was
Truly incredible. I have taken the Pachirisu pill. I am sold. I tried being a maid for a day. Oh, this is gonna make me jealous of a woman, isn't it?
As most of you already know,
Definitely.
Akihabara is known for their abundance of maid cafes.
I heard the cute voice and I instantly got jealous.
And a short while ago, I actually went to my first one ever, but not as a customer. For one day, I decided to train as a maid
Oh,
just to see
no.
what it was like to be in their shoes for a
Oh,
shift.
no.
And I got permission to do it at Home Maid Cafe, which is one of the largest in Akihabara. And joining me once again in the shenanigans is
Would
Miss
you do
Shibuya
this, Lucy?
Kaho.
Yes!
We dressed up as maids together and we had an
Shibuya
experienced head
Kaho.
maid named Mizuki-chan showing us the ropes and teaching us how to be proper maids. Let me show you how that went. But of course, before we get into that, I need to thank today's sponsor, GamerSupps. Right now, they're doing a sample.
They're doing code Lucy 21% off right now,
promotion where you
guys.
can try out a sample
Code
pack
Lucy
of
21%
GamerSupps
off.
for free, no matter where you are in the world.
And I guess Emmy's code is out there. You know? Does exist. Yeah, she's advertising for you. I find this really funny. Wait, it's 21% actually. That 1% is very important.
Mizuki-chan, how long have you been working at Home Maid Cafe for?
私はですね、ご主人様お嬢様に小さい頃からお仕えしているので、
I gotta move,
実は
don't die. I've gotta move. Gotta put my desk down. Guys, I'm no longer comfy pilled. I'm no longer comfy.
私は Mizuki-chan, how long have you been working at Home Maid Cafe for?
私はですね、ご主人様お嬢様に小さい頃からお仕えしているので、実を言うと2008年からメイドやっているので14年目です。はい。
So what's the concept of Home Maid Cafe?
ご主人様お嬢様のこちらお屋敷となっておりまして、ご主人様がご不在にしている間、私
This is a high class maid cafe, isn't it?
お嬢様のお帰りをお待ちしております。で、ご主人様お嬢様がお帰りになった際はたくさん萌えチャージができるようにお給仕で萌え萌えに癒してます。
Entire building is dedicated to maid cafe, at home cafe.
Does each floor look different?
はい、実は各フロアによってお屋敷の内装がちょっとずつ変わってます。ここはすごくピンクの強調されたフロアになっていて、
My favorite color.
Yes, mine too.
他にもこういったカラフルな
How many monies? How many monies? 5 million? 5 million monies? I'll pay it. Let me in.
模様のお屋敷だったり、本当にフロアによって変わってます。
How long do maids usually have to train for before they become a full-fledged maid?
新人メイド、見習いメイド、正メイドっていう3パターンございまして、新人メイドと呼ばれる期間がこのトレーナーというトレーナー、はい。で、この期間は3ヶ月になってます。で、3ヶ月中のそのトレーナー、
This is
今度は
serious
見習いメイド
business.
服というですね、またちょっとメイド服が変わったまた成長した証の特別なメイド服を着ることができます。っているのは、またさらに正メイド服っていう見習いメイドからのまた1年以上頑張った方が着れる正メイド服でございます。
We're at like the level 1 like peasant
Oh,
gear.
they have your starter Pokemon kind of.
Yeah. From like the maids I've seen in anime, they all have like different personalities.
Oh yeah.
Do maids adopt different personalities to cater to different customers?
今アットホームカフェにはもう約500人ほどのメイドが実は在籍しておりまして、イングリッシュでお給仕してくれるメイドも中にはいます。本当にたくさん。
If your type is like girl who has like a slightly weird nose and like long ears and a bitchy personality and like short hair with like a fucking half side ponytail and also the skirt is longer than the other girls, then somehow in some way, oh, and her favorite anime is some obscure shit that you've never heard of before. If that's your type, she's in there. She's in there.
メイドがいて、たくさんの萌えに溢れてます。
What kind of personality have you adopted?
私はそうだな、正統派タイプかもしれません。はい。
I feel like
The
because of
classic.
maybe my height, I feel like I
Yoni,
would adopt
welcome.
like a bully maid persona.
Okay.
What? Wait. You're the lord of this house? Yeah, sure. What? Next thing you know, you'll be asking me to call you master. Or what? You're such a weeb, so you probably want to hear me say Goshujin-sama or something. You're so pathetic.
Persona.
Okay, so just because I know people are going to be asking, I am 5'6", which is around 167 centimeters. And I know that's not that tall, but I'm only bringing this up because I'm well aware that the height imbalance is really distracting between the three of us because Mizuki and Kaho are both like 4'11". So yes,
They're
they
so
kind of
short.
make me look like a JoJo character throughout this video. I look like
I'm realizing. Oh no.
an absolute unit. I look like the bouncer maid you bring out when a customer starts getting rude. So, to answer the question I know will be asked, I am 5'6".
Please teach us how to be good maids.
First of all, we gotta ask her how to tie a ribbon.
そうなんです。メイドの制服の着こなしの大切なと
You
ころ
can
が
be average in Japan. I gotta go. I gotta move.
あー、これは先輩怒っちゃう。じゃあ私が先輩
Please,
なので
senpai,
直
scold
しま
me.
す。テクニックはそうだな。この紐をふわっと仕上げるのが
To make it frosty?
そうですね。
Oh wow, it is different. Thick ribbon, like Hello Kitty.
That is 14 years of experience under her belt, dude.
お出迎えをする際はこのメニューを持ってお出迎えします。この
Oh my god, they're so
ドジコ
cute.
ドジコドジコあードジコ入り口でここでご主人様お嬢様をお出迎えするんですけれども、ここに入ってきたらまず挨拶がございます。お帰りなさいませご主人様。
おかえりなさいませ、ご主人様. They need to let me in. You gotta let me in right now. They have. There's somebody there thinks that white girls are moe, right?
お嬢様。
お帰りなさいませご主人様お嬢様。
ご案内するんですけれども、実はここに段差があります。階段が。でここはですね、階段ではなくここではドジっ子トラップって呼んでます。ご主人様お嬢様がドジっ子にならないように私たちが注意します。アナウンスを。ドジっ子。
ドジっ子. I think okay, I've never seen that word before, but I know doji means like to do a blunder, like make a mistake. I think that is literally just saying clumsy kid. Dojikko, clumsy person.
トラップがございますのでお気をつけください。また席までご案内します。
ドジっ子トラップお気をつけ
The
ください。
clumsy bitch trap. I can't work here.
で
I
実は
can't
ここ
work
にももう
here.
一回コールがあります。実はここになのでベル鳴らす音だったり、その自分が言うご主人様お嬢様のビッグボイスでご帰宅です。
ご帰宅です。
ご主人様お嬢様ご帰宅です。
ビッグボイスだけどブブー。
That's moe to some people, you know, right?
Not moe.
Not the moe.
ご主人様お嬢様のご帰宅です。お帰りなさいませご主人様お嬢様。Hell yeah!
I can get called Ojo-sama there?
もう一度挨拶をします。自分の自己紹介します。
What's up, boss? I'm just kidding.
みたいな感じで自己紹介します。でその後に先ほど見せたこちらのお手紙です。手紙を読みます。いやお嬢様、他のお嬢様の模範であると認定されました。その功績をたたえお嬢様認定書ブローズカードを贈呈いたします。ご主人様協会おめでとうございます。コングラチュレーションみたいな。そうでメニューを開きます。でそこでメニューをはいその時はダウンします。
This is a lot of info.
私たちよりすごい位が上なので、そう私たちもいるので。ちっちゃくでこちらはマジックシェイカーメニュー。フリフリシャッカシャッカってやったら一緒にこういう動作をしてください。
フリシャッカシャッカ。
そのメイド実際お給仕入る前になんと1週間ぐらいでそのお給仕動画を見て覚えて練習してで一度フロアに出る前に先輩ネイバーがチェックするんですよ。メニュー説明できてる、お出迎えできてる。でそこで OK もらったら
This just sounds nice just to hear these words and pretend, Lord, I'm cook. You are literally me for real? For real, bro. People who call this shit cringe have no soul. They have no love or life in their hearts. I feel so sorry for you. I feel so sorry for you that you can't allow yourself to just enjoy the fucking moment of being in a maid cafe and being called Goshujin-sama and cute girls being nice and sweet to you. I'm sorry that you're so heartless.
やっとここのフロアでお給仕ができる。
That's intense. Yeah, and they're gonna check, senpai's gonna check, and
すごい大変。
Misaki-chan,
you could probably do this in your sleep, right? もう染みついてるかもしれない。14年やってるから、夢でもたまに夢でお給仕してる夢見てみたいな。全然ある。
She has dreams about serving. Real quiet.
おかえりなさいませ、お嬢様。おかえりなさいま
I'm
せ。
sorry, but this is real me. This is real fucking me, okay? See, that's a woman coming in here. That's me in Japan, and I'd be wearing a mask and sunglasses so nobody can see my face because I'd be blushing the entire time.
こちらのドジっ子トラップにはお気をつけくださいませ。それではご案内いたします。こちらへどうぞ。お嬢様、お嬢様のご帰宅です。お帰りなさいませ。お嬢様、こちらです。
wow. I'm so nervous. I feel like an otaku. Wait, I am an otaku.
お帰りなさいませ、お嬢様。
She's literally me.
お帰りなさいませ、お嬢様。
This is so cute. Oh my god, I'm so sweaty now. Sweaty otaku.
今日はお嬢様に特別な萌え萌えのお給仕をさ
My toxic trait is believing that I would have the pickup line that would riz these Japanese maids and would make them quit being a maid so that they could live off in a life with me where I take care of them, okay? That's my toxic trait, thinking that I could just fucking sweep these women off of their damn feet.
せていただけますので
You're Delulu? Wrong. I could do it. Wrong.
I have a letter.
You do.
Oh my god.
ブロンズカードを贈呈いたします。ご主人様協会よりというなんとですね、スペシャルなお手紙でございました。メイお嬢様、こちらはプレゼントです。
It's a little card.
おめでとうございます。お嬢様です。
The certificate is like 5% off of the food there so that the next time she comes, she can get 5% off. It's just to keep them coming over and over and over again.
今日から私たちのやったー
License of Your Majesty.
じゃじゃん。こちらはフリフリシャカシャカミックスジューチュ萌え萌えな言葉をかけながらメイドがシェーカーをフリフリシャカシャカして萌え萌えにお作りしちゃいます。はい、じゃあ続いて今日はお嬢様お腹は空いてますか？
Are you hungry?
Hungry?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Oh, アットホームカフェにはこんなにスペシャルなお食事もご用意してます。こちらはふんわりとろとろの卵の上に
I'm sorry, Chatty, if I'm being a little quiet during this video. It's genuinely sending me into a fucking trance. Gex, thank you for the bits, by the way.
メイドがケチャップソースでお絵かきしちゃいます。そして最後はアミューズメントメニューです。世界でたった1枚だけの萌え萌えのお写真が撮れちゃいます。
This is just like Bunny Garden.
I was so nervous.
You just find your new calling. They should have specifically a visa for girls who want to become maid cafe workers. This is the dumbest thing I've ever said, but I'm sorry. It would spawn a really cute documentary if it was a real thing. Whatever.
We bring forth to you water
Do they
that
have
comes
that?
from the Moe spring
Definitely
underneath
not.
this cafe. ノブとたちまち萌え萌えになってしまいます。
I'll become Moe Moe? I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go there.
I was so parched, and just a little sip has brought me back to.
It's a Moe recharge. Oh my god! Yay!
It is the perfect temperature.
Why aren't you wearing your maid outfit right now?
失礼いたします。
No one warned me!
お待たせいたしました。お嬢様。3、2、1。ドキドキ。ドキドキ。ワクワク。ニャンニャン。ニャンニャン。ぴょんぴょん。ぴょんぴょん。おいしくなれ。
おいしくなれ。
萌え萌え。萌え萌え。
ちらのお絵かきラテも作りたいと思います。
Become the fucking strong. Become the fucking strong, Emmy. I know you can do it. Become the strong, and you will never again cringe.
じゃあお嬢様、今日のリクエストはどうしますか？
Oh, Osusume.
猫。
I love the way she said that. Osusume.
ひげですね。
For you, お嬢様。
Oh, it's so cute.
3, 2, 1. 萌え萌えキュー。
It's been charged up with love.
続いてはお食事メニューでございます。それではこちらがワンワンカレーライチュです。そしてこちらがピピオ
That's so cute.
ひよこさんライスです。とろとろ卵が登場します。オープン。じゃじゃーん。かわいい。かわいい。ちょっとトトロみたいじゃない？ね、トトロみたい。
I like when they draw on the omelet with ketchup.
So good.
Will they draw on it with hot sauce if I ask them to? Because I like hot sauce on my eggs these days.
せーの、萌え。
So adorable. Cheek first.
This is what I'm doing to you when I Lucy Pyre beam, by the way. I'm filling you with love with me.
ほぺたー。はいしょ？困ってる？
I feel the mold.
あー、よかったー。
Wow, that is some good sauce.
私たち嬉しくて半端なっちゃう。
Well, the quality of this rice, actually, though.
Wait, really?
Oh, cool.
If I were you, I wouldn't say hearts in my eyes, though, because when I think of an anime girl with hearts in her eyes, maybe it's my fault, but I usually associate that with a completely different medium.
It's good.
よかったー。
I know that she's such a... It looks cute. It makes my stomach feel cute.
Makes my stomach feel cute!
Really
Here's
satisfied.
じゃあごゆっくりどうぞ。Enjoy!
It's so small and cute. It's like the perfect dessert amount. Ojo-sama, we have dessert for
こ
you.
ちらはレモンカチューシャケーキでございます。
Sorry, cakey.
Oh.
Cakey. Those plates are adorable!
Wait, you're that Julie?
Oh no!
Boss?
萌えキュー。
Boss Maylin!
Wow.
Oh, it smells so good. Wow. It tastes so magical. Oh, like actually.
Moe magic.
It reminds me of, like, childhood. It's so good.
Yay! Announcing Miss Maylene to the stage, please, for the checky time.
I got my pajama pants.
Oh.
オッケー。ありがとうございます。もう萌え。みたいな感じで。あー、かわいい。そう。オッケー。できました。
I have to go.
Please open it. Open it.
Oh, cute. Oh my god, I'm gonna put this like behind my phone or something. Yay! Yes!
Yay! Kawaii.
First time I've ever done this.
Did we do okay for our first day of training?
Yeah. Yay! Super clumsy.
How much does all this cost, though? Be quiet.
ご主人様、お嬢様のお出かけです。いってらっしゃいませ、ご主人様、お嬢様。
When I end stream today, I'm going to have to say "Itterashaimase, chatty goshujin sama." I won't forget. I promise you, I won't forget. Nya Demonite. My new is so bad. Okay, I hope you guys like it. It's so fucking, you know, it's so rainbow pilled. I think the accessory that she chose to use for it really adds to that one vibe that I was sort of trying to avoid, but it still looks so cute to me. And I hope you guys like it. Cause if you don't, some of you are going to be in trouble because at the 36-month marker, guess what? You're gonna unlock it. You're gonna unlock it. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. 36 months. It's coming. It's coming. You're not safe for long. You're not safe for long at all. I think this one is also in Japanese. So I will do this. Guys, look. Guys, look. It's my advertisement. Guys, look. Did you know code Lucy 21% off at Gamer Subs? I know you haven't heard this yet today. We haven't heard this yet today. Nobody said this to us. Nobody's spoken these words. Holy shit, 21% off. Thank you, Zar, for the very cute art. I appreciate it. Oh my god, I love the little demonite and how happy it always looks in all the art you draw. Very adorable. Very adorable. Blah, 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 blah. Roasting popular fast food restaurants. I'm gonna roast them all. They all suck except McDonald's and Panda Express, and I know, controversial. I don't give a fuck.
There's nowhere else to start with this list, because everyone knows when you're picking a flavor, the benchmark is vanilla. And that's what McDonald's is, the default option of fast food.
Are you insulting
me? And it
me?
makes sense, being that they are undisputably the most popular fast food restaurant on earth, and also the masters of brand marketing. McDonald's doesn't ever aim to make high-quality food, noticeably unique creations, or anything above the line of edible, because that's not what McDonald's is all about. McDonald's is about making sure that every time you slurp down one of their products, they reinforce your positive memory bank of what it's like to eat at McDonald's. That's why in recent years, McDonald's specialty meals have just been existing menu items with unrelated celebrity names plastered on them. The food at McDonald's doesn't matter remotely in comparison to the
Yeah, but I don't see other fast food places getting those collabs. I don't see it. I don't see it. I wonder why. I wonder why.
Concept of McDonald's. And while I don't think the food is especially bad, especially not for what you pay for it, it's certainly never going to be anything I'd proclaim delicious, and will forever remain the king of, yeah, it's not bad, I guess. And I'm glad we started with a flat even equator for our contest, because it's time to take a harsh nosedive downward. Burger King is more mayonnaise emporium than Monarch of ground beef. Eating at Burger King is the equivalent to eating an entire spoonful and a half of Miracle Whip and then trying to find room in your mouth to mash in either a kitchen sponge or a shoe insole, depending on whether or not you ordered the chicken sandwich or the Whopper. It's pretty telling that the most celebrated menu item at Burger King is the chicken fries, a limpy, overly processed version of the staple chicken tenders kids meal, and a food you can find an exact copy of in dozens of different brands in your supermarket's frozen food section. Anyone who says that they like Burger King is a goddamn nightmare of a human being whose opinions on food should be invalidated, and they should be avoided at all costs. What an incredibly worthless franchise. For each and every—
Okay, I used to like Subway. I have gotten literally sick of their food so many times, I don't fucking go there anymore because I'm traumatized. It's not clean.
Every ingredient in a Subway restaurant, I can purchase the exact same thing at my grocery store and make the exact same sandwich for half the cost, provided I have a toaster. Or maybe all I need is a microwave, because Subway thinks pre-cooked microwave chicken is a worthwhile protein for me to put on pants and leave my house for.
Yeah.
Subway is the inevitable darkness beyond the twilight of day of the fast food restaurants. It's cheap and easy as hell to make cold cut sandwiches, so of course some people are gonna muscle their way into the competition with the easiest and cheapest ways to do it possible. Maybe the only saving grace of Subway is that they bake their own bread fresh in-house. Oh, did I say bread?
Wait, do they?
After all, they got into hot water a few years back due to their bread
I was about to fucking say, there's no way they do not make their own bread.
containing too much sugar to be legally called bread in Ireland. I'm not that surprised, though. After all, they've also tried to relabel chicken and pork as tuna, 11 inches as a foot long, and a man's quest to get into smaller pants as a weight loss campaign. I struggled to write some—
I can't believe the fast food company known as Subway has just been put into bankruptcy.
Thing for Wendy's, because I can't even properly hate. The food's usually good and they bring in enough variety specialties to keep me from getting bored. I had a lot to say about Smug Wendy and the whole culture surrounding that publicity stunt, but that's not really a critique of the rest.
Fuck her! She wants to act like she's a VTuber without having the actual mental illness in the streams to back it up. Oh yeah, let me LARP as Wendy on Twitter and then make other people think I'm really sassy and funny. Shut the fuck up, Steve! I know you're a 35-year-old guy behind the screen, and you don't even fucking use a voice changer like I do to try and cover it up, so shut the fuck up!
And more just a bunch of really
really stupid children falling for targeted marketing and performing a restaurant's advertising campaign for them. I guess the worst teardown I have of Wendy's is the clientele is pretty fucking embarrassing. Alongside their Twitter clapbacks, Wendy's is loaded up with Rick and Morty crossover products, and now they're apparently roping in Demon Slayer. At least when Arby's shills popular youth market franchises, they make little art pieces out with it, and McDonald's, you know that they're marketing towards children and boomers. With Wendy's, all it takes is a 5-minute Photoshop job, and the internet-obsessed young adults clamor it up like it's not obviously a big, multi-billion-dollar corporation using pop culture trends to steal your dollar that you earned by not immediately spending it on V-Bucks. Wendy's, for some reason, gets a pass in corporately exercising what everyone else is getting sick of when they see it everywhere else, shoddily cramming in as many references and current trend properties as you can to make a buck. But I guess that's because they're slightly snarky about it, so they get a pass, because we're not ever allowed to take anything seriously anymore. Fuck you, Taco Bell. You're one of the few entries on this list that evolved me from displeasure to genuine anger. In 2019, Taco Bell made a push to declutter their menu and get the skeletons out of their closet, which is bullshit boardroom language for streamlining their menu to cut down on costs. Normally this would be okay, but they went ahead and trained.
Taco Bell is fucking inedible if you don't eat it the second it's handed to you. And fuck, if they take a little bit too long, and by a little bit too long, I mean 15 seconds to hand it to you, the shit is already sticking to the paper. Yes, it is literal slop. I cannot get the hard shell tacos there because they are fucking falling apart by the time you try and put it in your mouth.
Transform themselves from a wacky build-your-own Tex-Mex fiesta to the most boring, uninspired taco-based restaurant I've ever seen. The irony is they allegedly did it all in service of making ordering quicker and more streamlined.
Whatever.
But it's doubled my time spent at a Taco Bell because I spend a few minutes more at the menu thinking, ah, God, not only is it so boring, but every fucking item's the same. What's the point? But I guess the boardroom was really ass-pumping out ideas lately, because we've been stuck with nacho fries for seemingly the entire last year. I don't hate them, but claiming French fries is your exciting new menu item at your Tex-Mex restaurant is like claiming Terry Crews is the next Prime Minister of Japan. I mean, yeah, he could be, and that's pretty cool if it happened, but something about the whole thing seems off. Starbucks is a fast food restaurant, because it's actually an ice cream parlor in disguise.
Why would you say that? This guy got fired from Ubisoft.
People thinking Starbucks is just a coffee shop is the reason we're at a 41.9% obesity rating and climbing. No one goes to Starbucks just to order a regular plain black coffee. And if they do, it's because they lack any other options for it. And I can bet you they're not savoring that flavor. Starbucks is a wonderful dessert bar that helps you ruin your sleep schedule.
Starbucks is, I don't even, well, nope, you're right. It is fast food now. Continue on.
Drink half your day's worth in calories and nourish your oncoming diabetic coma all in a one-stop shop. Sorry, guys. I can't properly review this one because I'm bisexual, and therefore I'm legally not allowed to eat at a Chick-fil-A. I'd sure love to partake in a decent fried chicken sandwich, but I've already read the company.
Every time I go to Chick-fil-A, I remember, like, what was happening when I was in high school, and I just eat the waffle fries, and I'm like, damn. That's fucking crazy. And I, too, am bisexual.
These values on their hiring website and taken witness to their history of donating to anti-LGBT organizations and noted the bigoted actions of their owner and accepted that I'll be burning in hell when I die instead of living a lifetime scarfing down their somehow always soggy french fries. But this is a capitalist world
are soggy
where people's
now.
pleasure outweighs their
They're
principles.
shit now. What
and
happened?
I'd probably be regularly eating Chick-fil-A if I didn't happen to have a PDQ in my area, which is Chick-fil-A,
What the fuck
but
is
better
that?
in every possible conceivable way.
What the hell is
they're
that?
flying their way up the East Coast, even though they've been given the dumbest name on the planet of people dedicated to quality. It's because they know that maybe when you own a fast food restaurant, you should focus on making good food instead of forcing high school kids to say my pleasure enough times that everyone involved should be on.
You don't understand, bro. You don't understand. Them saying my pleasure is very imperative to my experience. God knows I wouldn't eat food if the person handing to it didn't say to me, my pleasure. I would just fucking boycott eating.
Comfortable, but somehow they aren't. Oh, sorry, it's just Dunkin' now. It's not Dunkin' Donuts, it's just Dunkin'. Because the ironic American public came to our donut shop for literally anything else so much that we decided to Bushido our brand name in half. So without a focus on donuts, what do you get? A restaurant that serves top to bottom mediocre at best breakfast sandwiches and wins coffee by default because every other restaurant fucks it up badly with cheap beans or...
No, you're crazy. I literally worked at a Dunkin' for like 8 months of my life. And I'm gonna tell you right now, their drinks are way worse than Starbucks in terms of health and in terms of taste. They are all much, much, much worse. Now, the food, though, what was it? They had, like, hash browns. That shit was banger. I'm not gonna lie. They got better food.
Way too much sugar. Pass. Chipotle's most impressive feat is
I hate
easily being
Chipotle.
twice as expensive as each and every local Mexican restaurant
You
in your
actually
area.
worked at a Dunkin'?
Yet
Yes,
where
I've
they
told
stay
this
competitive
story.
is making your associated
It was
bowel
before
movements the next day
Starbucks.
just as watery and painful. Sonic seems to be employing the old-timey tradition of employing a soda jerk, because absolutely no one thinks fondly of Sonic's food.
Sonic is not bad, but the service is always shit. Like, literally every single Sonic I've ever been to, I wait the amount of time I wait for a restaurant. Like, I never get the food in fast food standards. It's like I'm fucking sat down to eat and it took them 40 minutes to get it to me. Like, it's insane.
And the only thing people go there for is their extensive beverage list. I have a challenge for all of you watching this who eat at Sonic. Name a hot food item, not a drink, not a standardized dessert like ice cream, but a hot, cooked food item they sell at Sonic that's worth going to Sonic for.
I got nothing.
Oh, wait.
It's
The
all about
editing's
the
gonna cut me off soon, but
ice
just imagine I
cream.
stood here waiting for 10,000 years. I don't need to roast KFC. KFC was already fully and properly roasted by motherfucking Colonel Sanders himself. Quick history lesson. Colonel Sanders was the man who made Kentucky Fried Chicken as—
Wait, why did he draw himself as such a Chad when he looks like this? He's just like an old guy.
By
This is like a fucking
motherfucking
Chad,
Colonel
right?
Sanders
And that's just a dude.
himself. Quick history lesson. Colonel Sanders was the man who made Kentucky Fried Chicken, as we all know. And by the time he turned 73 years old, he found his new business explosion was too much for him to handle in old age. So he sold the KFC Corporation off to a group of wealthy business owners to manage and expand it even further. From that point on, Colonel Sanders was completely separate from the KFC brand, but acted as a sort of living mascot for the company. Basically, he no longer maintained any control over the company, nor had any input in the kitchen. So now in 1976, Colonel Sanders is 86 years old.
You know, if you're fucking 70, I can't even blame you for selling your company.
Decided to stop by at a KFC restaurant and peeked his head into the kitchen to see how everything was operating. Here are some direct quotes from his experience. I have not made any of these up, nor am I embellishing them. I know I do a lot of fuck around with people goofs. These are real things that Colonel Sanders said about a KFC restaurant he visited in 1976.
Oh, no.
That's too much black. It should be golden brown. You're frying for 12 minutes. That's 6 minutes too long. What's more, you're frying—
I'm sorry, Chatty. I almost closed the video when I heard that beginning. Like, I was really scared.
Frying fat should have been changed a week ago. That's the worst fried chicken I've ever seen. When the manager showed him how they make mashed potatoes and gravy, he interrupted the manager's explanation with, and then you have wallpaper paste. Next, suppose you add some of this brown gravy stuff, and then you have sludge. There's no way anyone can get me to swallow those potatoes. And this coleslaw, they just won't listen to me. It should be chopped, not shredded, and it should be made with Miracle Whip. Anything else turns gray, and there should be nothing in it but cabbage, no carrots. This ain't no goddamn fried chicken, no matter what some slick, silk-suited son of a bitch says. And here's the best—
I think I get it now. I think I get it. I want to play the Colonel Sanders visual novel. I get it. Yeah. You may not like it, but that's peak male hydration. Ugh. Oh.
One. This one is so good that
DJG,
KFC
welcome.
Corporation sued him for libel over it. My God, that gravy is horrible. They buy tap water for 15 to 20 cents 1,000 gallons and then mix it with flour and starch and end up with pure wallpaper paste. And I know wallpaper paste, by God, because I've seen my mother make it. To the wallpaper paste, they add some sludge and sell it for 65 to 75 cents a pint. There's no nutrition in it, and they ought to not be allowed to sell it. And another thing, that new crispy chicken is nothing in the world but a damn fried dough ball stuck on some chicken.
He wasn't even done.
If you like KFC, you enjoy eating wallpaper paste. Arby's is like a decently good magician because their entire brand is a trick. The worst thing about Arby's is the roast beef sandwiches. The fries, pretty good. The mozzarella sticks, pretty fucking good. And they've got a smattering of sandwiches on the board that are nice and tasty. But their Pride and Joy roast beef sandwich is like tonguing a cow's worn out vagina. Arby's has been around since the 60s, and that means it's been about 60 years running that no marketing executive have noticed that everyone's more interested in the side quests of their AAA fast food franchise game than the actual game. There's hope for you yet, Arby's. Just take a minute to analyze what actually works for you and stop trying to force genuine shit sandwiches down the customers' throats. If you've ever ordered anything from Dairy Queen that wasn't ice cream,
suck my dick, suck my dick. Their hamburgers are actually fucking fire. They have the best hamburgers. I'm not even lying with you. Those are good. That's some good shit. This must be a dated video because their hamburgers are fucking good. And they have cheese curds. That shit is fucking good. And then you can also like double, triple max on your calories by getting a Blizzard after. Like if you want to be a fat ass fucking American and you have a Dairy Queen nearby, you are about to be so immersed in our culture because it is so easy.
You deserve to be thrown in a gulag. I'm not sure whether the express...
Okay, gulag me. Gulag me. Yeah, you sound very un-American.
...applies to the speed in which you get your food or the speed in which the shit's gonna fly out of your asshole after eating their 90% breading and sauce to 10% chicken protein-based concoctions. Their next secret menu item should be the burger that when you eat it, you finally realize how insanely overrated this restaurant is and that it's just another tick on the board of things California does a really shitty job at but think they're the best at. Oh, hey. Speaking of overrated, I'm looking at you, Midwest.
Never been.
Yeah, the Italian beef sandwiches are pretty spanking, but you still have to ignore the fact that their French fries are somehow the worst on the planet, and the cake shakes are a gimmick and nothing more. Challenge yourself to a feat harder than climbing Mount Everest and try to eat at a Portillo's in the Midwest at dinner time. Enjoy waiting 45 minutes to an hour for a fucking hot dog. We're back in the chicken fries argument. I'm fighting hand over fist for something that I can find a carbon copy of in my local freezer section. We're a food culture that's far away from culture, and instead tucked away neatly into the throngs of
Guys, you can tell which one he actually likes based on how much time he spends making fun of it, and he loves Panda Express, okay? This guy's just faking it. He has to roast all of them for the video, but he fucking loves Panda Express because his only insult is, it's gonna fucking shit out of your ass. Yeah, well, it's gonna feel good in my mouth while it's in there.
Familiarity. While that describes the notion of fast food chains as a whole, it definitely fully describes the wholly unwarranted messiah complex Portillo's has developed, Chicago Mafia involvement or otherwise. Popeyes feels like the Waffle House of fast food. I don't go there when I want to eat. I go there when I want to enter a fist fight. I don't think I've ever met a friendly staff member at Popeyes. It's not that they were unfriendly, it's just they always considered having to serve me food as a chore, and occasionally sized me up to see if I either had a mean uppercut or a knife in my pocket. When there's prominent news articles from places such as Business Insider about how debuting your new chicken sandwich resulted in a multitude of fatal stabbings, multi-man brawls, and vehicle assaults, I think Popeyes might be the first restaurant chain to encourage a no shirt, no shoes policy, because that's the 6th rule of Fight Club. Whataburger should end in a question mark, because it alludes to the sentence, what? A burger that doesn't suck ass is all it takes to rank highly on the fast food tier list? While Whataburger is easily location dependent, as is nearly every entry on this list, they get high marks by following the old adage of sometimes you don't need to do anything new. Sometimes doing things right is good enough. Whataburger is the best B student I've ever seen. They've never approached true culinary heights, but what they do is good enough to earn them solid marks for every grade. Not much about them to roast that isn't just generic comments on the fast food industry as a whole. The fact that all it takes to put them high on the leaderboard is the notion that they don't usually suck dick is a stark reminder of the kind of competition we're holding here. Good.
Gecko, thank you for the
God
22
almighty,
months.
I am struggling to think of a more unhealthy fast food restaurant on the planet. When both your burger and fries easily hit the 1,000 calorie mark each, maybe reconsider ordering anything other than water to drink.
It's that
but
bad?
That's okay.
It's that bad? It's actually that bad? Silva! Thanks for the sub, welcome. Nice username.
Because while the burgers are slightly bigger than average and they give you enough fries to sink a battleship,
I've been once. They didn't even taste that good to me.
Five Guys has this marvelous ability to never leave your stomach for 25 consecutive hours. By the year 2030, most major corporations are going to add an additional personal sick day to their employee calendar in case anyone wants to go home early after having Five Guys for lunch. Either they do that or they lose sales regardless, because the pure cholesterol paralysis is going to render their workforce paralyzed. And some locations even offer milkshakes too. I'll be honest, if my local Five Guys closes down, I'm not going to see it as a business
Milkshakes are the most low-class type of dessert or like sweet treat that your restaurant could offer. I don't care. I don't like them. I think Chick-fil-A is worse for only having milkshakes. You can do better. Sell real ice cream.
motion, but rather an acknowledgement of a public health crisis. Take what I said about Five Guys earlier, shrink down the portion sizes, but keep the amount of grease,
Never
and you have
been.
Checkers. I will stand atop the highest mountains in all of America and be the first to say Checkers has the best fries. Fight me on that. But any order of the Fry Lover XL size comes at a cost of both $4.29 and a year off my life. Checkers proudly stands for what fast food is and doesn't give a shit about labels. It knows that it's unhealthy, salty, greasy, sugary, and dense, and it unflinchingly stares you in.
So does every other fucking fast food restaurant, you goddamn Checkers glazer.
The eyes as you wordlessly both share that bit of trivia when they ask if you'll want to make your meal a combo. Other restaurants on this list are where I go when I'm hungry. Checkers is where I go when I want my stomach to experience pure evil. These are all the same restaurant. Underwhelming fried chicken and nothing else of value.
Yeah.
Let me know if any of these are your favorite fast food restaurant, so I can let you know
They're
that
all
you've got
bad.
the personality of a blank sticky note. Ah, how the mighty have fallen.
Never been.
White Castle was the first fast food restaurant back in 1921, and today they're usually at the bottom
real?
50 of the rankings. How did this happen? Well, maybe it's because most people don't want to eat a meal that has a 100% hot fart guarantee attached to it. Maybe
Ew.
White Castle could double back and advertise that their food is great for cleaning you out if you're bloated, but the mud butt crowd admittedly is a fairly small demographic. Okay. A&W is not that popular of a fast food
I've
franchise.
never
I know,
seen this.
but I
What?
included this on the list because I wanted to tell you all a completely true story that happened to me. I've
This looks like a fucking drink label.
only eaten at A&W once in my entire life, and it was for the sole purpose
root
of trying
beer. Oh my God,
A&W
it's
for the
root
first
beer.
time in my life. I ordered a burger, a fries,
So
and
that's why I recognized it, but it immediately disgusted me. Polecat
a
welcome.
root beer float. It took 3 separate employees 15 minutes to figure out what was in and how to make a root beer float at a restaurant named after a brand of root beer. I think it's pretty obvious why I've never been back. Culver's, you are so close to perfect. Holy shit, you are so close to perfect. Delicious food.
I remember Chatty glazing Culver's to me and saying it's really good, and I can't remember if I actually tried it or not. I'm gonna try it again, just in case. I could swear that I did and that I didn't like it. But maybe I was just delulu. Everybody keeps glazing it.
Excellent
So
menu
maybe
variety.
I should like it.
Admittedly a bit expensive, but the quality and consistency of the food far and away makes up for it. Unconventional and delicious sides like cheese curds, a ridiculously
Ain't no fucking way that you shit on Dairy Queen when it literally has these cheese curds that you're glazing. You!
great frozen custard selection. Except, you're so fucking boring.
Dairy Queen's not boring. Go into Dairy Queen, you can find 2 really fat fucking redneck people divorcing. It's not boring in there.
From what I've seen, Culver's rolls out special limited time items at a rate of 1 per year, and they've never added anything to the menu full time since they've opened in 1984. After you eat Culver's a handful of times, you've effectively tried the entire menu for life. Culver's kicks ass, don't get me wrong, but it's hard to get excited for it a lot of the time. It's a great option if you want to make sure that
You want Dairy Queen, don't you? You want Dairy Queen, don't you? Chatty, he wants Dairy Queen. He wants Dairy Queen. He wants
you
it.
have something scrumptious really quick. But if you're
Hydration.
looking for a restaurant to help spice up your life, it's not going to leave an impression. Wingstop should change their name to Stop
What the
Wings
hell is that?
because they consistently make the worst chicken wings I've ever had in my life. This really isn't much of a roast so much as it's the truth. I've never met another human being in my entire life who likes Wingstop, and I've never felt more confident
I've
in my
never
life
met
than when
someone
I
who
proclaimed
knows what a
Wingstop to be the
Wingstop
worst chicken
is.
wings in America just 5 seconds ago. Boy, oh boy, do I wish I could
Never
taste their
been.
food. It's just I've been waiting in the drive-thru line for 4 days now, and I was told to browse the menu while they assist other customers eons ago. And I haven't
Oh,
seen
it's
anybody
Sonic's
since.
again.
Yeah, okay, I've had Steak and Shake before, and it's fine, but their consistent negligent under-hiring practices sour any taste I could have in my mouth. And that gives Steak and Shake a never-ending air of cheapness. The whole restaurant feels like it's trying to cut corners wherever it can, and that behind the walls of the establishment is rubber bands, duct tape, and slave labor lawsuits waiting to happen. I don't
You may not want to hear this, but that's every fast food restaurant. They're all trying to cut corners. Starbucks is really fucking bad about it. Like, the busiest days we would have was Sunday, and then they would understaff us on purpose, and we would struggle, and we wouldn't be able to be as fast as they wanted us to be, and then people would get mad at us, and it was like hell on
Where was
earth.
literally the
Never really
NPC
feel-
final boss.
Listen, okay? He's not an NPC. I wouldn't say he's an NPC. I would say He's a Dairy Queen denier. He's a Dairy Queen denier, and he's lying to himself, and he's lying to all of you. His opinions must be taken with a grain of salt ever since the Dairy Queen opinion.
Good supporting this franchise, and I don't think I ever will until I meet a Steak and Shake employee who is genuinely happy at their job. And I don't think that's going to ever happen until about the year 2088, when due to impending lawsuit costs, Steak and Shake is going to be closed down for good, and the employees can tell me stories of how they feel that their shackles have finally been broken. Jersey Mike's has this cool secret menu item where if you ask for a sub Mike's Way, they'll drown it in so much vinegar and oil it'll become a sloppy, drunken mess.
It sucks.
In fact, Mike's Way is such a secret that it's plastered all over the menu, and employees ask you if you'd like it for every sub. I think Jersey Mike's is one of the last few family businesses. After all, when a customer suffers a fatal coronary infarction from eating their food, their children will inherit the estate and be able to use that on even more Jersey Mike's. Jimmy's Way.
Also, what the fuck
Mike's
even
Way,
is that as a fast
Subway.
food name?
The only way I need to be shown in relation to all these hoagie chains is the way towards not needing to submerge my sandwich in oil to get some flavor in my next bite. Jimmy John.
Can they stop naming, like, fucking Subway places after the letter J?
John's claim to fame, aside from the fact that everything they make is 90% lettuce, is that they make their sandwiches quickly. Which is great because the slogan immediately informs you that absolutely nothing will be prepped to order, and you should maybe take a minute to consider that it really isn't all that impressive to make a borderline pre-made sandwich quickly. The only edge that Jimmy John's has and ever will have on the competition is their convenience factor if your corporate mandated lunch break only happens to be 3¼ minutes. Beyond that, every single other sub shop, both local and chain, is better value for the money. And Jimmy John's only real sticking point will be when they finally get closed down by the FDA for trying to claim Jimmy mustard is literally anything other than coarse ground mustard they relabeled from the supermarket down the street. It's every other sub chain except the food is hot.
I like
God,
Firehouse.
I'm so fucking bored. And finally,
I like Firehouse.
Wawa. Now I know what you're thinking. Wawa.
Bad. 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 Bad.
Plus a gas station. Why the fuck are they on this list? Because how sad is it that a gas station chain operates as a better fast food restaurant than 90% of the entries on this list?
He's Delulu! He's Delulu! Help him! Chatty, please, we need to stage an intervention. He's fucking Delulu!
Open 24 hours, huge amount of variety, cheap food, fresh baked bread for all their sandwiches, a ton of rotating specials, and best of all, you get to fill up your car and buy some snacks at the same time. And
I have never fucking eaten anything edible from Wawa. The best case scenario was their strawberry banana smoothie, which had way too much sugar in it, okay? There is not edible food at Wawa, and I refuse to fall for your bullshit fucking conspiracy that there is.
Every time I eat something there that piques my brain into saying, oh, it's a gas station, this food's gonna be super fucking gross, it often ends up being reasonably tasty.
I can't.
Wawa always reminds me that fast food restaurants should try harder. I'm a night owl, because when I'm awake at 3 a.m., I thankfully don't have to deal with any of you
Where's the roast? Where's the roast? You promised roasting. You're glazing. You're glazing.
people. And that often means my food options are kind of limited. I could
Yeah,
run the risk of hitting
sponsored
up the
by
local
Wawa.
24-hour McDonald's or late-night Taco Bell, but I always feel like I'm taking a huge gamble on receiving anything edible or not being stuck in a long line because those are the only options for people up that late. Whereas Wawa, because of how they function as a true 24-hour establishment, the food consistency is way higher. Did they forget something on your order? Just ask them politely to fix it. Did the late
Ha ha ha, excellent, sir. The Wawa check will hit your bank account shortly.
night drive-through at the 3 a.m. Burger King fuck up your order? Haha, the inside's locked and the drive-through line is long as fuck, so go fuck yourself. Wawa knows how to cater to people with alternative sleep schedules, and that's a hefty amount of people who don't get to do it by choice like me.
Do you realize that you genuinely sound like you're reading off your fucking 60 to 90 second sponsored segment of your YouTube video right now?
Or people who don't have any other options. Picture anyone who works a late night shift or anyone currently traveling. Wawa is there for them. And I can't say that about any other late night fast food franchise, whether it's their random closures for no reason, or the ice cream machine going down for no reason, or being understaffed for no reason, or some reason preventing me from feeling like I can get a decent bite to eat just because I'm awake when most people aren't. Wawa food is far from remarkable, but it's good enough, and it's the consistency that I've seen surrounding it that makes it a gold star.
I've never seen someone try so hard to defend mediocrity.
Or staple in my eyes, regardless of gas station attachment. With fast food restaurants, the irony is I feel like I never know what I'm gonna get. But with Wawa, while I've ordered some things I didn't particularly enjoy the taste of, I've never once had them serve me something gross. And trust me, ask anyone. Fast food restaurants can get real
The bars in hell.
gross.
The bars in hell. The bars in hell. Oh, look at this. Look at this. What is that? Baskin Robbins. Look at this Baskin Robbins shake. Oh, it's so. Oh, the calories are so insane. Chatty, give me one. Just one second, okay? Just 1 second. I get the feeling. And I know it's a crazy fucking feeling. It's a crazy fucking feeling. Wawa drinks nutrition. It's time to pull up the receipts. The fucking receipt. Oh my god, it's making me very.
Click these bicycles to prove that you are a human being.
I will. Fine then, I will. Fine then, I will. Fine then, I will. Where are the fucking drinks? Hello? Chatty, they're hiding it from me. They literally have it. It's called like fucking the low-calorie drink menu. Okay, where are your normal drinks then? Where are your normal drinks at? Where did you fucking put them? Where'd you put the normal drinks, Wawa? Where are they hiding? Why don't you just have it, like, on the front? Why are you putting it out of the way to where we can't see it? Interesting. Oh, I'm enthused. Something's happening here. Let's see. Whole milk. Oh my fucking god. They don't want to work with me, Chatty. They don't want to work with me. It's all sponsored. Maybe even this stream is sponsored. And I'm about to get a fucking check that I've never even knew that I was about to get. Because somebody put this in my Reddit, and it was all for the sole purpose of glazing this right here. This is sad. Really sad. This feels like watching a dog run on zoomies. I'm sorry, Chatty. I'm fucking sorry if it's so disappointing to you to see me be a little bit upset, just a little teensy-weensy upset that he shit all over Dairy Queen for no reason, and then he's glazing Wawa. Where does that come from? Who cars? I car. Me, I car, Alistair DMC. I fucking car. Sorry that I car about things. But I think people watch me because I car. Car a lot about my Chatty. And that's why people pay attention. This one is episode 1 of every isekai. I've seen like 2.
Damn, no milk? Guess I'll just make a run to the store then. What the hell? I just got this strange feeling that maybe I shouldn't leave this house today. Like there's danger waiting for me somewhere. I'ma still go.
Slice of life goes on in deep dives.
You can hear my song playing faintly in the background, a ringing in his ears.
Should definitely stay home and watch some TV. What? Greetings, strange traveler. Would you like to join a guild? What? No! I was in my house! Would you like to see what some of these guilds talking about? I was in my house, man! You want a mission from a guild? I was in my house. Would you like to buy some weapons from a guild? They put the truck in my house. You look strong. You should join our guild. It's not fair.
If you won't come to isekai, isekai will come to you.
Join our guild. They put the truck in my house. Join us for this one mission. It was in my house.
It's okay. Don't be afraid, Chatty. When I come for you, I come with open arms. We all love Truck-kun. I love Truck-kun the most out of anyone here. Hey, Lucy finally made it into the big leagues. Oh no. The Yankees are like a hated team. Hello? I heard this thing for us because she's the hated streamer. You have to be slightly insane to be a popular VTuber. Not even just slightly insane. Is this girl cooking or like, I don't know, she sounds kind of stupid. You know, you just need this unspeakable something. I've noticed it, this unspeakable something that is hard to quantify and hard to explain, but it's a something. NTR Savant, what is your fucking username? Thank you for the 13 months. NTR Song at Yankees game? Yeah. This is fake. You could tell this is fake because if it was actually happening, the background would just be like, what the fuck is that? That's how I imagine the Dodgers game went. It was just a bunch of people being like, wait, what the hell is that? What is that thing on the screen? I don't even know what we're looking at right now. This is so weird. The hell? It's so cute though. Man, I should watch the clip of the Dodgers thing. What the hell is that even? Chatty, this is the... Apparently... Is this the fucking Yankee Stadium? Did you choose the Yankee Stadium for... Wait, why is it LA versus LA? Wait, how... How is it LA versus LA? Wait. Is... Jack in the Box, guys! If the Dodgers beat the Dodgers, then you're going to get a Jack in the Box of the hamburger for $2 off. $2 off if the Dodgers beat the Dodgers. So, guys, I really hope the Dodgers win today. I really hope the Dodgers win. Okay. I will let you choose. I have time for one more video. Do you want to watch the Katana being made or the Crocs Crusade? Oh my god, wait, that rhymed. Oh, that rhymed. Is that a threat? Yeah, I have a threat. Katanas? I'm mostly seeing katana, so we're being katana pilled. Hey!
やはり勉強です。何でも。そこに手を届いたと思われた方はそこで止まりますから。もう少しでもいいのを作りたいからですね。
This is gonna be one of those videos that makes me feel like my life has changed afterwards.
昔からのやっぱり伝統工芸一番古いからですね、刀は。
It's so shiny.
そういったやつを守っていきたいですね。
Blacksmithing is really cool.
年齢いって、ああもう仕事もういいかなと思うけど、刀になるとやっぱりああもっと作りたいなとは思いますね。
Aww. Wait, that's I can read, guys, trust me. Holy old! The way that, like, this picture, the lighting of it makes him look washed out, makes this look a little bit terrifying. Like the type of thing you might see in a horror game, perhaps. That's a lot of ashes. Or embers? Or wait, what? Chatty, I'm gonna sound so stupid. You know I don't know anything, right? Don't be mad. Coal? Charcoals? This is good ASMR? Okay, I should shut up, right? Just pure silence. This guy.
それじゃあ今からちょっとお参りに行ってきます。刀は家宝とかお守りとして使っているのが多いから神がかっとるっていうことで、だからしめ縄を張ってしめ縄の中でやるっていうことですね。
This looks peaceful. Imagine how hot it gets when you're making a weapon, though. I'd be sweating. Guys, they know the traditional way of praying. Take notes. If you fuck it up, the kami will curse you forever.
それじゃあ鉄の棒を叩いて火をつけます。はい。もともとこういうふう。
Chatty, this is another chance for me to sound stupid as fuck. Okay? Let me tell you. I just now realized where the phrase "strike the iron while it's hot" comes from. Whoa. Like.
鍛冶屋さんは火つけとったもんで。昔はこれで
Oh shit! No, don't make the joke!
風を送って火を起こしてたの。2番の玉鋼を火の中に入れます。これを焼いてへしますから。
玉鋼。 ball steel? Balls of steel, Tamahagane, base. Guys, incorrect. Balls are not steel. They are golden. Keen Tama. Get it right. I'd be annoying as hell. I'd be so noisy while doing this, and I'd be huffing and puffing. I'd be like, How is this gonna turn into a sword?
100,
1,300 degrees.
大体厚みが揃ったので、今度はこれを焼き入れします。
I like when they put it in the water. I bet that feels so good for the stone. Like when you're getting turned into a blade and then you're really hot and they put you in the water. I bet that feels amazing when you're the stone.
あとは次はこれを小さく割ります。
Also, I have to say, if you are a blacksmith and you have like traditional blacksmithing in your blood, you must have children because your child will be happy. Okay, I can't guarantee this for any other type of kid, but blacksmithing, and then if you teach them how to blacksmith, then they will be fulfilled in life. They will be happy. Do it.
角でガラスが切れますから。
He's right. You can cut glass with the broken corners. I'll take one. How much do you want?
溶解鉄で1枚にしとるからこんな粒が出ないんですよ。これは粒の集まりですからこれが出るんです。4番目に入ります。積み沸かしちゅうててこという道具にこれに今潰したやつを積んでいきます。
積み沸かし。
これをかけます。これは粘土質の泥ですね。鉄にかけてすると鉄の酸化防止とかこれが鉄が変な溶け方しない。
Oh, that looks kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie. Whatever this is, it looks kind of gross. Yeah, it looks like a fast food product. Ironic considering the last video we watched. Looks delicious. You sound insane. It's the back and forth for me.
藁の灰です。高温と酸化止めです。
I'm too immature for blacksmithing. Yeah. Yeah.
今度は5番に行きます。切れ目を入れて折り曲げます。 今から不純物を飛ばすために水打ちって言って真空爆発をさせます。
Just give in, Lucy. No. So violent. Ha.
これを15回から20回鉄がきれいになるまで折り返したんで。
Our heart welcome. You know, I said it probably feels good for the stone when it gets put in the water. Do you think it feels good when they're hammering the slit? God damn it, hydration. Oh, that shit looks good. What?
ゴルフするときも左。はい、鍛錬が終わりましたので、これは外側になる部分ですね。それを曲げて作ります。
I like that noise.
はい。
Oh my god.
はい、これで曲げるんです。今度は今のを曲げます。
曲げます。Yeah, a little back and forth. That noise sucks in a person. I bet it does. It sounds like it would be very loud for the people doing it. And yet these people aren't wearing hearing protection or anything. It's so round, Shaddy. Now the slit has turned into a hole.
これは刀の芯金といって柔らかい鉄を刀の真ん中に入れるやつです。強度を出すためです。
Genuinely fascinated because I have no clue how this is going to turn into a katana. I'm like still like, where does it become the katana, sir? Not more mustard and gravy.
This これが火の色が変わってくるんですよ、黄色に。そしたら鉄が沸いているということなんですよ。はい。
Iron is boiling. Holy hot! If I had this in my hand, I'd be freaking out. Sorry. Oh my god, what?
これから切りを離さないとダメな。
You're not supposed to touch it, Lucy? Nah, I thought I'd stick my whole hand in it. That's the handle?
中子と言います。
Nakago.
今度、
Oh, I know that's good. That's the shit. I see it now, Chatty, I see it now, Chatty, I see it!
こうちょっと叩いてこう曲がりとかを直してるからっていうか、ね、
Looking down it like he's looking through a telescope.
でヤスリをかけて細かい修正していきます。
It's gonna be so sharp.
見ながらしないとへっこんでるとこと高いところとあるんで。
Oh, is this the sheath part? No, okay, we're painting, we're painting. Hamon? Perhaps I will learn these new words he is using in my historical novel that I'm reading. What does it do? The ripple pattern? Oh! Naruhodo. That, huh? It lets the edge be hard, but the spine be soft when quenching. Guys, what the hell does quenching mean? You're talking to a complete lay lady. Oh, put in water? That is quenching, you're right. I should have guessed. I should have guessed. Me when I'm the sword and I want to be
これ
quenched.
が焼き場土といって焼き場土を塗って乾かした後の状態ですね。今から焼き入れをします。この焼き入れが刀に魂を入れる。
It looks plenty hard to me, but the hardening process is important, I think. So hot. On fire. Oh. Oh, what the fuck? Oh my god, that was so cool looking. That was so cool looking. I have to do it again. Look at this. Get quenched! It looks so cool. Hi, Airty. The quenching. I bet this part's noisy as fuck in real life. Oh, I can see it. I can see it. The shine. The splendor.
こっちの方がなんていうのかな、柔らかい砥石で、ちょっとこっちの方が刃文が見えやすくなるんですよね。
I can smell that shit through the screen and I hate it. I love it. I know exactly the smell you're talking about, but I don't think that smells bad.
見えるかな。
Wait, you're talking about like the oils, right, Chasia? Not like the man?
これは錆止めの水です。
Rust-proofing water. So much love in every step. I want to own a katana now.
ちょっと曲がったりしてるので。まっすぐ。
I drink that. That looks good. Yeah, Chase. Yeah, I heard that you can get it with code Lucy, 21% off if you buy the what was it? Soda pressed pear. It's the same color.
反りを合わせたり細かいところを合わせたら研ぎ師や鞘師に回します。研ぎ師は
Lucy visits Japan when? Will they let me take a katana on the airplane?
年以上修行された方に出します。完成したのがこの刀です。
Oh, the moment, the big reveal.
日本人にとっては昔は
Oh my god, and they even have the bamboo sheath.
人切り包丁と言われてましたけど、そういうふうに言われとった中で家宝とかお守りに使っとるから、やっぱり神がかったもの、人を切りつけるじゃなくて自分を守るための道具。刀は伝統を守るため。
Oh, is that the name?
包丁は生活を守るた
Oh
め
my god. Oh my
刀は
god.
もう魂はこもってますね。はい。それはもう
I bet these are like $5 million.
侍さんも結局は武士の魂中って刀差し合ったのと一緒で、やはりその分同じ刃物としては一緒ですから、その技術を包丁に生かすと切れ味が良くなると思って刀の技術を使ってます。
Chatty, what does it mean if I want one now? Am I in trouble? Am I fucked? Am I screwed? I'm cooked, I think. It means you're a weeb. Me announcing at the end of the year, hi guys, I can't do a re-debut because instead I spent all the debut funds on buying a random katana. But it's a really good one, guys. Look, and then I fucking do a hand cam with it. 10 minutes long, and I'm like, anyway, I'm gonna go play with my katana now. Oh, it looks so good. So pretty. So pristine. So clean. Psycho daze. Look at that. Look at that. Straight. Straight cut. Oh. Clean. So everyone needs to post pictures of their katanas in the Discord. Are you going to flex on me that I don't have a katana? I literally just said I want one. And you're like, oh, everyone should post theirs on Discord. To remind me I don't have one? Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Hydration. Chatty, it's not cringe for a foreigner to own a katana. It's an appreciation of a beautiful art form. But just so you know, if I was born in like an anime, I would be a very strong sword user and I would have a harem and all the girls would love me. And that has nothing to do with me being a weeb. That's just like a recognition of my own power level. So go fuck yourself and be quiet. Silence is golden, as they do be saying. Chatty? So, what did you think of the slit? What did you think? What are your thoughts? Any opinions? It was hot. Would beat again? With hard hammers? I feel like hammering a slit IRL would be a little bit dangerous. A little bit sussy baka. That katana definitely edged. I agree with you. It had a very sharp edge. A very intimidating edge. Even would fold. Would you fold me into the little hole that they used? Hammering that slit like never in my life. Chatty, I know you'd be good blacksmith. I know you would be good at it. I know that the way I know my own soul. I believe in you, Chatty. I really do. I don't know who the hell we're gonna raid, though. It's a question that I can't quite answer. Did someone say something about bladesmithing? You just got here late, bladesmith, bro. You just got here late. It's over.
I guess
it is fucking over, man.
I love you. I love you very much. You
You
are
love me?
adorable. You are so cute.
Oh my god, thank
I'm
you.
in love with you. I love you. I love
Aw.
you. I love you. Hokkaido. Good dress.
Hokkaido. 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 Me like Hokkaido. I like Hokkaido quite a bit personally. Big fan. I'm a big fan of Hokkaido. Enjoyable little location that I've never been and I know barely anything about, but it's always cropped up in the shit that I read. I don't know why. Feels like Hokkaido people talk about it too much, maybe. They're like people who are from California, who talk about it a lot. About being from California. There are people who do that, as you may well know. Lots of California people. You should watch the Hokkaido anime. Is that a thing? There's no such thing as a Hokkaido anime. You're playing around. You're just playing around. Anyway, you may be able to see we're going to be raiding my eldest sister, my One-sama, my One-chan, Cinder, Cindy, Syndra, however you want to call her. I'm sure she'll be fine with it unless her rules say that she's not. Why are you already posting raid? Why are you already posting raid? We're not in there yet. Chatty, I only have like 20 seconds left with you, but you better give those 20 seconds to me. Anyway.
Did you like the Fox video? Also,
Yes.
I'm waiting on Dono to be
I love
active.
you, Chatty.
Lol.
Mwah, 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 mwah. I'll see you again soon. And J Foshay, thank you for the 17 months. Bye. Have a very good rest of your weekend. Bye, Chatty.